Chapter 5:16. People from the Soaring Dragon Sect? Yu Yang was startled when he heard this. Why did the enemy say they were from the Soaring Dragon Sect, and not the Demon Abyss or the Eastern Goblin tribe? Could it be that the Soaring Dragon continent was the strongest in the ancient times? Without waiting for Yu Yang to think, 6 shadows moved 100 times faster than lightning from the Dual Plaza. They easily bypassed the Southern Demon King and Elder Nan Gong, who were blocking the Crystal Passage, and appeared in the center of the Dual Plaza. Southern Demon King and Elder Nan Gong realized that the other party had no intention of making a move, so they did not stop them. They only chased after them and landed beside Yu Yang. There were 6 shadows in the plaza. They stood with their backs facing the 4 directions, as if they were afraid of the enemy's sneak attack. Yu Yang, Southern Demon King and Elder Nan Gong did not make a move. They decided to wait and see first. Black Hell King and Sky Emperor, as well as War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North, met up with the Emperor of the Underworld, who had rushed back from the Crystal Passage. As for the foreign innates and the human innates, they hid among the ancient warriors, unwilling to reveal their identities. They were deeply afraid that they would be discovered and killed first. The ancient warriors quickly rushed back and surrounded the 6 enemies in the plaza. It was a pity that although they had the advantage in numbers, they paled in comparison. They could not be compared at all. The 6 of them were all elder innates. Among them, there was a handsome silver-haired man with closed eyes. His strength was obviously above the Black Hell King. This handsome man with flowing silver hair was heaven-ranked level 2 on the surface. However, Yu Yang used his Heaven Eyes divine vision to see that this person's true strength was heaven-ranked level 3. Even though he was wearing an ordinary scholar's robe, the invisible pressure he exuded was stronger than the Black Hell King, who was wearing the dark sacred armor. Yu Yang could not imagine what kind of power this person would have if he used a holy weapon or a divine weapon. Other than the handsome man with long silver hair, there were 2 other people who were as strong as the Black Hell King. One of them was a man covered in flames. He looked similar to a fire elemental in human form, but he was a real human. The other one was standing beside the flaming man. On the surface, this person looked very normal. However, with Yu Yang's Heaven Eyes divine vision, he was a strange metallic life form. Yu Yang felt that this guy was similar to the liquid robot T-1000 in the movie Future Soldier. They could freely change their bodies. The only difference was that this guy was a perfect silicon-based life form, not a robot. This silicon-based life form was very strong. His power was on par with the Flame Man and the Black Hell King. They were evenly matched. The Black Hell King's hidden strength was stronger than the Flame Man and the Silicon Man, but there was still a gap between him and the silver-haired man with closed eyes, the strongest of them all. Although this silicon-based metal body could not be compared to the liquid divine molten meteorite gold, Yu Yang still wanted to dig out a piece of its body to study it. Perhaps he could use this special liquid metal body to create better weapons or even more perfect humanoid battle puppets. Other than the 3 at the front, the 3 enemies behind them were not weak either. Each of them was a true heaven-ranked ranker. They were only slightly weaker than the Black Hell King, but much stronger than the Sky Emperor and the Emperor of the Underworld. Among the 3 people, the tallest one was a half-human, half-robot martial artist. He was more than 10 meters tall. Yu Yang could not imagine how a body of flesh and blood could be so perfectly combined with a metal machine. However, the truth was right in front of him. Could it be that this guy's world was like the bio-boosting armor? Yu Yang turned his head and looked at the 5th-ranked warrior. It was a half-skeleton, half-ghost weird race. He did not have a body below the waist, nor did he have a physical arm. He only had an energy arm and a skeletal hand at the front. The skeleton that was half hidden in the energy emitted a faint blue light. The appearance of this weird race stunned the Emperor of the Underworld. This was because the enemy race he saw had evolved to a higher level than the Lich King. They had already completely combined their skeleton, energy and soul. The sixth warrior was a beast man who was closest to the eastern goblin tribe. He was a 3-meter-tall tiger man. He looked similar to the eastern goblin tribe. There was not much difference. Yu Yang used his heaven eyes' divine vision to see through and realized that the meridians in his body were very similar to those of the eastern goblin tribe. The only difference was that this tall and strong tiger man had 3 eyes. In the middle of his forehead, he had a golden eye that was the size of a fist. It did not have an eyelid and could not close, but it could look at people. This 3-eyed tiger man was not interested in anyone except for the Southern Demon King. He took another look at her and sniffed her scent. He seemed to be confused by the similarity between the Southern Demon King's Eastern Goblin tribe bloodline and his. "What's going on?" The tiger man, who had just surveyed the scene, saw the giant lowly who had fallen into a deep sleep on the ground. He immediately revealed a dumbfounded expression. "Don't tell me you guys knocked out the goddess of war who protects your soaring dragon continent?" Ahahaha. The half-human, half-robot warrior laughed so hard that he could not stand up straight. White smoke rose from his body. "Idiot, what a natural idiot!" The half-skeleton, half-ghost warrior laughed sinisterly as he laughed mercilessly at Yu Yang and the others. Yu Yang was speechless. Actually, this was all the Black Hell King's idiotic actions. It had nothing to do with him. Now, everyone had to suffer the ridicule of the other races for him. What a tragedy! Of course, the Black Hell King pretended that he did not hear anything. He would never admit his mistake in front of everyone. Moreover, the Black Hell King could not figure out what the 6 strong enemies wanted to do. He could only be on his guard and observe the situation. The handsome man with long silver hair suddenly opened his mouth. "I am Huang Quan, the head disciple of the Heaven Realm's Guizhong sect. I have been training in the Heaven Realm for 800 years. I am the Eastern Heaven Realm's chosen one for the ancient war. May I ask who the Western Heaven Realm's chosen one is?" Elder Nangong, the Black Hell King, the Sky Emperor and the Emperor of the Underworld looked at each other. Chosen one? Heaven Realm? Ever since the battle between the Prison Emperor and the 3 great leaders of the Heaven Realm, no one had ever gone to the Heaven Realm. How could there be a chosen one for the ancient war? What is a chosen one? Must one go to the Heaven Realm to start this war? We don't know. The Southern Goblin King thought that it was triggered when she opened the 4 chests. She had been feeling guilty, thinking that if she didn't bring Yu Yang and the Black Hell King to hunt for treasures, this wouldn't have happened. But the enemy's words seemed to have nothing to do with her. There seemed to be another story. "Don't tell me you guys have never been to the Heaven Realm? You don't even know who the chosen one is?" The 3-eyed tiger man looked as if he was struck by lightning. "Country bumpkins, which corner of the world are you country bumpkins from? Are you trying to make me laugh to death with this kind of joke?" The half-human, half-robot warrior laughed so hard that he rolled on the ground. One of the screws on his body fell off. From the looks of it, the warriors representing the Western Heaven Realm will definitely lose in the battle between the North, South, East, and West realms. Before the final battle, you guys must hand over 30 of your companions for us to kill. We are strong warriors and have the right to obtain more points. Otherwise, we will kill all of you before the death arena. As for whether you guys can pass the death arena, that will depend on your luck. My Fire Clan has never been interested in forming alliances with weaklings. The man covered in flames demanded the Black Hell King to hand over 30 people. The foreign and human innates hidden among the ancient warriors were all panicking. The Black Hell King and the rest could not even protect themselves now. How could they care about themselves? The enemy's threat was a way to weaken them, but they could not resist it. Although no one was willing to die here, many of them understood that they would not be able to escape this calamity. No matter where they were, strength was the priority. Without sufficient strength, they would definitely be eliminated. The Black Hell King and the Sky Emperor had another worry about the Flame Man's threat, which was that they did not have enough people. The people that the enemy was talking about shouldn't be the ancient warriors, but the companions that entered together with them. However, there were only 25 people in total. Even if they agreed to compromise, how could they gather 30 people? After the enemy killed 30 people, how could they guarantee that they would not continue to attack them? What is the death arena? Can you explain it more clearly? Yu Yang was still confused. You guys really don't know anything? The three-eyed tiger man looked embarrassed. We have not been to Heaven Realm for thousands of years. Elder Nangong muttered to himself and said the truth. Impossible. Who knew that the other party would deny it? The humans of the Soaring Dragon continent have always been the strongest race. No matter how much they have fallen, there is no reason why they could not even enter Heaven Realm. Furthermore, if no one entered Heaven Realm, how could they start the ancient war? That's impossible. The man whose body was covered in flames insisted that this was a fact that was forged from iron. Someone must have started the ancient war in Heaven Realm. If not, why would the ancient battlefield appear here? The three-eyed tiger man also did not believe Elder Nangong's words. The person who started the ancient war is the God's chosen one. The half-human half-machine guy added. If he is a God's chosen one, then he would be able to hear the voice of the ancient code, and would be able to lead the entire clan into battle more effectively. The three-eyed tiger man's words shocked Yu Yang. He was a God's chosen one? Wasn't this too ridiculous? He had not even seen Heaven Realm before. How could he start the ancient war? This was like seeing a ghost. Did any of you hear the voice of the ancient code? Yu Yang asked despite knowing the answer. He hoped that the Black Hell King would raise his hand and take the blame for him. The people around Yu Yang were all silent. It's impossible. There must be a God's chosen one. The God's chosen one is equivalent to your team leader. Without your team leader, you wouldn't be able to understand the various conditions of the ancient war. You guys are dead meat. The God's chosen one must be here, but he is hiding. The flaming man waved his hand and raging flames soared into the sky. We don't care if you guys have a God's chosen one. You guys are weaklings, so you guys should have the self-awareness of a weakling. We can only fight to the death. There is no surrender. Elder Nangong's attitude was very firm. No matter how strong the enemy was, he would never surrender. Let Huang Quan explain. The silver-haired man with closed eyes spoke slowly. You guys might not know anything when you got involved in this ancient war. I can tell you that this is the death arena. It is also the place where the East, South, West, and North Heavenly Realms' 4 lower-level races fight to the death. The winner will obtain a divine artifact, and the loser will die forever, sealed in this crystal plaza for billions of years. The loser will have to accumulate 100 points in the following battles to escape the fate of being killed by the ancient code. You guys might want to know why we didn't attack you guys immediately since you guys are enemies. This is because even if we kill all of you, we won't be able to accumulate 100 points. The first enemy we have to face is the ancient slaughterer released by the ancient code. In order to prevent the races from secretly forming an alliance, the ancient arena will release 10 ancient slaughterer every hour. These ancient slaughterer will attack randomly. Their mission is to kill all the participants. Every time they kill a participant, there will be one more ancient slaughterer companion. You guys from the Soaring Dragon sect have already lost the right to compete for the divine equipment. According to the rules, you guys have to give us 30 people as our point. Only then will we consider letting the best of you guys join us to kill the ancient slaughterer and earn points to leave. If that's the case, why don't we all join forces and gather our greatest power to kill all the ancient slaughterers first? Sky Emperor felt that they could totally cooperate. At least, they could cooperate for now. After everyone had accumulated 100 points, it wouldn't be too late to decide who would be the final winner. Of course, the enemy definitely wanted to weaken the strength of the people from the Soaring Dragon sect on Yu Yang's side and obtain a certain amount of points first. Not only would they be able to suppress their opponents, it would also be beneficial for them to escape after the battle. They could even reduce the possibility of the ancient slaughterers increasing. The problem was that Yu Yang's side had already killed 30 of their companions. If they lost 30 points, who would be able to walk out of this death arena alive? You guys have to turn useless people into our points. This is the most basic condition. If you don't give them to us, we will kill all of you ourselves. You guys have no chance to negotiate with us. Each of our representatives have prepared for this battle for hundreds of years. Each side has at least 3 heaven-ranked rankers, but you guys only have 1. You guys are no match for us. The man who was covered in flames insisted on killing. The weak have no rights. The liquid metal life form who had been silent all this while also nodded in agreement. Other than this person, the others won't be of much use. I suggest that we kill all of them to prevent the ancient slaughterers from increasing. The half-skeleton, half-ghost guy pointed at the Black Hell King in a weird tone. Indeed, only the Black Hell King could obtain their recognition. The others had all become sacrifices for the enemy's point. The Black Hell King was secretly delighted. He was very safe. He reckoned that it wouldn't be a problem to protect the Sky Emperor, War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North. As for Elder Nan Gong, Emperor of the Underworld and Yu Yang, he could just get rid of them. It would be a pity if the Southern Demon King died because she was a smart girl. If she was willing to rely on him, he could still save her life. But he reckoned that it was unlikely for her. The Eastern Goblin tribe was extremely resolute. They would face death in a desperate situation and go against the odds. This was the style of the entire tribe. Forget it, there was no need to force things that didn't belong to him. Furthermore, she was just a woman. The Black Hell King raised his chin arrogantly and didn't look at Elder Nan Gong and Southern Demon King anymore. On the other hand, the Sky Emperor hurriedly stood beside him affectionately, as if he was his biological brother. The foreign innates and human innates were all in despair. They didn't even need to look at the Black Hell King's expression to know that he was unreliable. Elder Nan Gong was the only trustworthy person, but he wasn't an innate elder. He couldn't obtain the others' recognition and couldn't protect everyone. The half-skeleton, half-spirit guy turned his finger that was guiding death and slowly moved it towards the Southern Demon King. The Southern Demon King's body started to tremble slightly. Yu Yang stepped forward bravely, his body as sturdy as a mountain, blocking in front of her. I originally wanted to kill the woman first, but this human kid seems to have a different opinion. I'll just kill him first. The half-skeleton, half-spirit guy laughed sinisterly. Yu Yang had endured for a long time. When he heard that the white bone demon wanted to kill him, he immediately flew into a rage. Motherf ****, do you think you're so arrogant just because you look neither human nor ghost? Sun Wukong was able to defeat the white bone demon thrice in the past. If he can take care of you, I can too. Coincidentally, the watchdog at home has no more bones to chew. I'll tear apart your rotten bones and feed them to the dog. The Black Hell King and the others were so shocked that their jaws dropped to the ground. Wasn't this brat too arrogant? The opponent was at least a heaven-ranked level 1 ranker. With his small physique, he wanted to fight with his life on the line? The Southern Demon King quickly hinted at Yu Yang to not be rash. Yu Yang pushed her away. Stay away, so what if he's a heaven-ranked ranker? I'm fighting a heaven-ranked ranker. Everyone was silent. Everyone was speechless at this brat. In the opponent's eyes, this brat was either a fool or a lunatic. Either way, his brain was abnormal. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made such an arrogant challenge. The half-skeleton, half-spirit heaven-ranked ranker laughed sinisterly. I'm Wang Jin from the Bone Clan. Before I kill you with a finger, I hope you can tell me your name. I really want to know, what's the name of such an arrogant young man who doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth? There's no thrill in killing a weakling in an instant. But you're an exception, because you're too arrogant. It gives me the urge to kill you. This young man is the youngest and most outstanding genius in the soaring dragon continent. At the age of 20, he became an innate and reached his current level in just a few years. He can be said to be a genius that only appears once every 10,000 years. The Black Hell King introduced the young man to Yu Yang sincerely. He was afraid that the other party wouldn't bear to kill Yu Yang, so he purposely said, "Yu Clan's third young master has challenged countless people and has never been defeated in his life. Not only does he possess a powerful beast, he even obtained the treasure Prison Emperor Divine Seal from the previous ranker of the Soaring Dragon Continent, the Prison Emperor. As long as the third young master successfully contracts with the Prison Emperor Divine Seal, he would become the new Prison Emperor. A mere heaven-ranked level 1 would be nothing to the third young master." At this moment, all the enemies looked at Yu Yang as if they were going to kill him. Was there any reason for such an outstanding young man to live? Chapter 5:17. The Black Hell King was elated that he had successfully provoked the enemy's killing intent towards Yu Yang. He, the Sky Emperor, and the rest retreated and gave way to the battlefield. This action was equivalent to acknowledging the enemy's suggestion of giving away 30 of their comrades to become ranker points. Although they knew that the Black Hell King would not be able to protect them, the foreign innates and human innates were still very disappointed. The feeling of being abandoned was extremely unbearable. They would rather die in battle than be powerless against the enemy. The Black Hell King was a heaven-ranked ranker, but he did not say a word. He was far inferior to the Yu Clan's third young master who challenged the enemy. "Let's fight the enemy together." Southern Demon King bit her lips and decided to team up with Yu Yang. Even if they were to be killed by the enemy, she could not bear to see him fight alone. "No need, I alone am enough." Yu Yang waved his hand and rejected Southern Demon King's good intentions. Yu Yang knew that he would be better off fighting alone. Southern Demon King was not like him. If she was attacked by the enemy, her life would be in danger immediately. Although her intentions were good, he still had to worry about her safety if he really joined the battle. He would not be able to use his full strength, which would be disadvantageous to the situation. There were 6 strong enemies in front of him, and even the Black Hell King would wait for an opportunity to attack. Yu Yang felt that if he did not show his strength, the enemy would think that he was a pushover. Elder Nangong wanted to speak, but Yu Yang secretly transmitted a message to him. He nodded his head slightly. He gestured for the Southern Demon King to retreat with him. Southern Demon King's eyes reddened. She took a deep breath and suppressed the excitement in her heart. She whispered to Yu Yang, "I will listen to you this time, but you must not go back on your words. You must come back alive." Wang Jin from the Bone Clan laughed sinisterly. "Sorry to disturb you. I have to tell you a piece of bad news. None of my subordinates have survived. Other than the strongest Huang Quan, who is slightly stronger than me, even the Fire Clan's Fen Tian and the Gold Clan's Yun Xing cannot defeat me. I am an existence that will never die. With the god's bones as my body, I can ignore any kind of energy damage, and the demon soul is immune to any kind of attack. The attack methods of humans will never be able to defeat me, he. As he spoke, his body transformed. There was no shockwave like when a human expert leveled up. All the energy seemed to be absorbed by his body. The skeleton in Wang Jin's body gradually appeared and turned into a strange and unique bone armor. This bone armor and energy perfectly combined, it was both Wang Jin's armor and his body. The inside of the armor was empty. There was nothing, not even a magical crystal or inner core that could be used as an energy source. Although Wang Jin, a heaven-ranked expert from the Bone Clan, was arrogant, he didn't underestimate his weak enemies at all. Other than turning the skeleton inside his body into armor, he also summoned 5 skulls that floated on the surface of his body to protect himself. Those skulls were all wholly ranked existences. Their attributes were dark, poison, fire, ice and gold, 5 different types of energy. They automatically rotated around Wang Jin's body, and could attack or defend according to his master's will. In front of him, Yu Yang unsealed his power and leveled up to innate level 5. The current him was equivalent to someone else's innate level 10. Facing such a young yet powerful human opponent, the few people on the opposite side revealed a vigilant look. Even Huang Quan, who was the calmest, frowned slightly. The Black Hell King's eyes turned cold. He didn't expect Yu Yang to continue leveling up. Sky Emperor's heart skipped a beat. No wonder the Ocean Emperor Guan Lan died in the hands of this brat. This brat had already reached innate level 10. Although the Ocean Emperor Guan Lan had reached the peak of innate level 10, he couldn't withstand the combined attacks of Enshi and this brat. Luckily this brat was going to die here soon. If he were to escape, not to mention himself, even the Black Hell King would be killed by him. His own innate talent was 1 in a million, but he only managed to reach innate level 10 after spending 1,000 years. How did this Yu clan's third young master train? Was there really such a huge difference between him and himself? What moved everyone was not only Yu Yang's leveling up, but also his level. Yu Yang had merely leveled up to innate level 5 and was equivalent to someone else's innate level 10. What if he leveled up to innate level 10? Who would be able to match him then? Heaven's Fury Fire Lotus. When Yu Yang leveled up, his body didn't explode with a terrifying shockwave like other innates. To Yu Yang, that was a sign that he couldn't control himself and was a sign of weakness. Ever since he leveled up to innate level 5, this explosive leveling up had gradually become controllable. Under Yu Yang's control, countless energy turned into lotus-like flames. One by one, they danced in the sky. With Yu Yang's body as the boundary, on his left was a blazing inferno filled with blazing flames. On his right was an extremely cold frost hell where even a drop of water would turn into ice. When Yu Yang raised his hands up high, a purple lightning was born from his fingertips. With a crackling sound, it coiled around Yu Yang's body like a snake and flowed to the top of his head, gradually forming a huge lightning ball. When everyone saw this, they were all sweating profusely. This Yu clan's third young master's strength aside, his control had already reached an abnormal level. Fan Tian of the Fire Clan was confident in controlling fire and felt that he wasn't inferior to his opponent. However, he knew that controlling fire and ice at the same time would increase the difficulty by more than 10 times. This was definitely not something he could do. Furthermore, the Yu clan's third young master, this young human, not only controlled ice and fire, he also controlled lightning. This level of difficulty caused Fan Tian, a heaven-ranked ranker, to be dumbstruck. He secretly wondered if this brat was really a human. Ha! Yu Yang condensed the huge lightning ball and turned it into a purple lightning-shaped weapon. Materializing lightning? Everyone was speechless. If it was an ancient titan who was born with lightning control, he would probably not be able to do it. Very good, it will be satisfying to be able to kill this kind of human rancor. Wang Jin of the Bone Clan did not wait for Yu Yang to throw the purple lightning over. He immediately rushed towards Yu Yang. His bony hands quickly extended and a meter-long sharp finger bone pierced towards Yu Yang's body. Yu Yang raised the almost completely materialized purple lightning in his hand. With the Heaven's Fury Fire Lotus and Arctic Frost as support, he slashed out the first move of the Armageddon Sword technique. First slash. Earth-splitting slash. The entire Crystal Plaza seemed to be pressed down by a huge hand. The pressure of the Heaven's Fury Fire Lotus reached its peak. The innate level 8 War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North retreated thousands of meters away, but they still felt suffocated. In the sky, a huge ice and fire giant blade that was 100 meters long was formed by the yang energy of the Heaven's Fury Fire Lotus and the yin energy of the Arctic Frost. Under Yu Yang's brandishing, it slashed heavily on Wang Jin of the Bone Clan. Even if Wang Jin was a heaven-ranked ranker, he had no choice but to withdraw his bony hands, give up attacking and defend with all his might. All the energy of the bony hands retreated and returned to the bone armor. The bone armor was densely covered and directly defended against Yu Yang's earth-splitting slash. A heavy slash that could destroy heaven and earth created a 100-meter-long crack on the ground of the Crystal Plaza. It split the ground into two. However, Wang Jin's bony hands did not move at all. Could it really be the bones of a god? Elder Nan Gong sighed dejectedly. It was not that Yu Yang's attack was not strong enough, but his opponent's body was too abnormal. Even if Wang Jin's bones weren't the bones of a god, they were not far from it. It was an existence that could not be destroyed. Again, Yu Yang did not believe in him. Just as he finished the first move, he started the second move. The second slash, heaven and earth collapse. Yu Yang's attack was very slow. People felt that Wang Jin had hundreds of opportunities to attack him. However, the cautious Wang Jin did not attack. Instead, he defended. He did not even withdraw his bony hands and immediately summoned back the 5 saint-rank skeleton treasures to protect his head. However, it was still too late. The purple lightning in Yu Yang's hand had already struck Wang Jin's head when it left an afterimage in the sky. None of the 5 saint-rank skeletons that were controlled by Wang Jin could block Yu Yang's slash. As a heaven-ranked innate, Wang Jin was struck by Yu Yang until his body sank by 1 meter. The blue skeleton armor actually showed signs of loosening under the attack of the terrifying purple lightning. Wang Jin's hardest skull, the skull that was said to be formed by the bones of a god, had a white scar on it after the purple lightning struck it. The few heaven-ranked innates widened their eyes in disbelief. The toughness of Wang Jin's skull was famous in the entire heaven realm. They did not expect that it would be injured by a human boy who was not even a heaven-ranked innate. Although the injury was light, it was enough to prove that Wang Jin was not invincible. It was also enough to prove that Yu Yang's attack was effective. A level 10 innate fighting against a level 1 heaven-ranked was like a child fighting against an adult. Who would have thought that the adult would be the one injured? Get lost! Wang Jin was furious. He felt that he had lost all his face. He felt ashamed to be embarrassed in front of so many familiar faces. The bony hands were as fast as lightning and they clawed at Yu Yang's chest. The overwhelming power of a heaven-ranked innate burst out with the intention to kill the despicable human boy in front of him in one move. At the moment when Wang Jin gave up on defense and took the initiative to attack, Yu Yang did not retreat but advanced instead. He clasped his palms together and released the third style of the heaven-destroying sword slash, third slash, Lord of Rivers and Mountains. Both of them were hit at the same time. Wang Jin's body shook slightly, but he did not seem to be seriously injured. However, Yu Yang spat out a mouthful of blood. However, his attack did not decrease. He flipped and soared into the sky. He cleverly used the strength of his opponent's attack and somersaulted above Wang Jin's head. Yu Yang grabbed the blood arrow that was spat out after his internal organs were shaken by the enemy's strength. He transformed it into a blood blade and slashed it heavily on the white scar. This was the fourth slash, heaven and earth reversal. The fourth slash was 10 times stronger than the third slash. It combined innate chi and Wang Jin's furious attack strength. Under the guidance of the blood blade, it slashed heavily on Wang Jin's head once again, hitting the white scar in the middle. Damn it! Wang Jin never thought that the Yu clan's third young master would be so difficult to deal with. Not only could he not kill his opponent in one move, he was even put in a difficult situation. He was fuming with anger. Wang Jin waved his bony hands and hit Yu Yang, who was in the sky, sending him flying. He did not care about the ridicule of his companions and took off his head. He held it in his bony hand and used his other hand to heal the small crack on his head. It was the first time that a crack appeared on the god's remains. Although this injury was not fatal, It was the biggest humiliation in Wang Jin's life. Because no one had ever heard him like this before. Wretched soaring dragon people, I will definitely kill you. Wang Jin realized that the crack on his head could not be healed. Yu Yang's attack had caused a permanent injury, which made him even more furious. He put his head back on his neck and pounced towards Yu Yang crazily. Under everyone's dumbfounded gaze, Yu Yang did not dodge but faced him head-on. With his current strength, fighting against Wang Jin was like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. People did not even understand why Yu Yang could injure Wang Jin's head and cause a permanent injury. There were too many unbelievable things about this young man. Almost nothing was normal. Looking at Yu Yang and Wang Jin's battle, the Southern Demon King who was worried about Yu Yang was no longer worried. She was looking forward to Yu Yang continuing to create miracles. Wang Jin's bony hands carried a destructive power and struck towards Yu Yang's head. He was prepared to explode Yu Yang's head to take revenge on him for injuring his head. A ray of colorful light flashed. A little lowly Lamia appeared behind Yu Yang. Her eyes were wide open as she stared at Wang Jin, who was waving his bony hands. Everyone saw that Wang Jin's lightning-fast hands suddenly stopped. His whole body became sluggish and motionless. Although he quickly regained his movements, the 1 second of pause was enough for Yu Yang to attack 10 times. Yu Yang's hands glowed with runes and the World Exterminating Wheel appeared. The World Exterminating Wheel heavily struck the scar on the top of Wang Jin's head. A long halberd formed by Nirvana flame pierced through Wang Jin's eye socket, and his head flew off his neck. In the sky, the Bloody Queen waved her whip of agony and whipped Wang Jin's head to the ground. On the ground, the barbarian cow Shadow Aman acted like she was hitting a baseball. She swung her rod and hit Wang Jin's head fiercely, sending it flying 1,000 meters away. On the other side, the Golden Crown Thorny Flower Queen waved the golden beast that transformed into a sharp blade and slashed towards Wang Jin, who had lost his head. Wang Jin, who had broken free from the binding inherent skill, was no longer to attack Yu Yang. Instead, it was to escape. He gave up on a piece of his neck because Yu Yang had already grabbed it with his right hand that was burning with Nirvana flame. The bone armor on Wang Jin's body turned into fragments and scattered all over the sky. Then, the fragments shot back to his head and formed the original Wang Jin. However, everyone could clearly see that Wang Jin was in a sorry state now. His right eye socket was burnt black and it was twice the size of the other eye socket. The Nirvana flame had directly burned a big hole in this god's skeleton that claimed to be invincible. Luckily Yu Yang did not have enough time to burn him. Otherwise, Wang Jin would have been done for. There was also a small hole at the top of his skull. That was the work of the World Exterminating Wheel. Damn liar, he is the god's chosen one. He must be. Otherwise, he wouldn't have beaten me up so badly. Wang Jin scolded the other 5 people. You guys didn't even help when you saw me being tortured like this. Are you guys still my comrades? Weaklings have no rights. The enemy is strong but you are weak. It's normal for you to be beaten up. The cool liquid metal man still said the same thing. Damn it. Wang Jin was going crazy. He knew that his abilities were above Yu Yang's. If he fought with his life on the line, he would probably win in the end. However, if he did that, he would be heavily injured and would be easily killed by others. Working so hard just to benefit someone else? This was the outcome he was most unwilling to accept. Wang Jin came here to snatch the divine equipment and not to die. Moreover, Yu Yang's beasts and skills were too powerful. The World Exterminating Wheel and Nirvana Flame were even more troublesome. Hence, even though Wang Jin was furious, he did not dare to attack Yu Yang. In his heart, he was afraid of the crazy Yu Yang. This brat was definitely a lunatic. Before the final battle, I will not fight with him. The World Exterminating Wheel is already scary enough. This brat also has Nirvana Flame. I would rather let Fantion's Nirvana Flame burn me for a day than to let Nirvana Flame touch me. That would really be fatal. Three-eyed Tiger Man shrugged his shoulders. indicating that he would stay away from Yu Yang's Nirvana flame. Nirvana flame, it makes people jealous. Since the appearance of Nirvana flame, Fan Tian from the Fire Clan had never blinked. He stomped his feet angrily, shaking the entire Crystal Plaza. Although I am jealous, I will not think about things that I cannot obtain, because it does not belong to me. He knew his own limits when he said this. Nirvana flame could not be snatched by external forces. It belonged to the Yu clan's third young master. Fan Tian could not do anything even if he was jealous. Huang Quan, say something. The half-human and half-robot guy gave the final decision to Huang Quan, who had closed his eyes and had his hair fluttering in the wind. Regardless of whether he is the god's chosen one or not, he has the right to participate in the final battle. The ancient war made us compete with each other, the survival of the fittest. However, before the final battle, I will not kill competitors who are helpful to the battle. Before becoming enemies, we must first be teammates, because we will be facing the pursuit of the ancient slaughterers. Maybe the one who will live to the end will be me, Huang Quan, or this Yu clan's third young master, or even one of you. Before that, I have decided to give up on my request just now. If we continue to fight, both of us will suffer heavy losses. No one can escape from the ancient slaughterers. Huang Quan looked at Yu Yang in the end. It's a pity that you have not grown up yet. If not, you will definitely become my greatest enemy. Live well, I hope that I will be facing you in the final battle with the world-exterminating wheel and Nirvana flame. Yu Yang heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. That was close, he had finally passed. He had used almost all of his strength, including the world-exterminating wheel, Nirvana flame and innate chi that he had been hiding, to temporarily defeat Wang Jin. In this ancient war, if he did not increase his strength quickly, even if he did not die in the hands of Huang Quan and the others, he would die in the hands of the ancient slaughterers. There was also the Black Hell King who wanted to kill him. The current him was really in danger. Of course, Yu Yang still secretly held back. If there were not so many strong enemies, Yu Yang would not hold back even if there was the Black Hell King and Wang Jin by himself. The death match in the ancient arena had not started yet, so Yu Yang could not display his full strength. Because he was holding back, the Black Hell King and the others did not dare to act rashly. This was because even the Black Hell King did not know where Yu Yang's limit was. They suspected that this brat might have already reached Elder Innate Realm, but he was pretending to be weak. Seeing how he easily defeated Wang Jin just now, they knew that this brat still had something stronger that he had yet to show. The three of you should join the battle too. Huang Quan's words were directed at the Emperor of the Underworld, Elder Nan Gong and Southern Demon King. After witnessing Yu Yang's shocking performance, Huang Quan and the other 5 heaven-ranked rankers no longer dared to look down on anyone around Yu Yang. This was because in their eyes, these people looked weak on the surface, but they seemed to be hiding their true strength. Although not everyone was as abnormal as the Yu clan's third young master, the Emperor of the Underworld, Elder Nan Gong and Southern Demon King were all acknowledged by the other party. The Black Hell King was definitely the most disappointed one among them. It was just that he was extremely patient and did not show it. Yu Yang must be killed, but the Black Hell King had not found the best opportunity. Yu Yang, who was standing opposite him, had the same thought. He had also decided to get rid of the Black Hell King in this death arena. Now, it all depended on who would find the fastest opportunity to get rid of the other party. Chapter 518. Different from Yu Yang's side, the rankers representing the lower levels of the North, South and East realms were much stronger. Not to mention the fact that each side had 3 innate elders, there were 10 innate level 10 rankers that were close in strength to Elder Nan Gong and the Emperor of the Underworld. The rest were all innate level 9 rankers, none of them weak. In comparison, Yu Yang felt that his side was really shabby. The only one he could use was the Black Hell King, but he was the traitor who backstabbed them. In addition, the ancient lowly was still unconscious. They had already lost half of this battle before it even started. Central Plaza. Without waiting for Yu Yang to save the giant lowly, the ancient war in the death arena had officially started. 10 dazzling golden light pillars shot down from the extremely high dome. All of you stay here and try your best to save and protect the goddess of war. Yu Yang was speechless that there was no healer innate rancor in his team, but now was not the time to blame them. Yes. More than 10 foreign innates and a few human innates were very respectful towards Yu Yang. Other than Yu Yang's extremely powerful and respectable abilities, they were even more grateful that he stood up and fought against Wang Jin from the Bone Clan. If not for Yu Yang's help, they would have all become the enemy's points. Even the Black Hell King had acknowledged the enemy's strength. Only the Yu clan's third young master dared to challenge the heaven-ranked level 1 Wang Jin as an innate level 10 and even won slightly, gaining the recognition of all the enemies. Not only did he save his own face, he also saved the lives of more than 20 of his teammates. These innate rankers knew their limits when it came to battles. With just their strength, fighting against the ancient slaughterers would be suicide. There was no problem if they stayed behind to heal. The only regret was that none of them were healers, so they couldn't make full use of their abilities. The Black Hell King, Sky Emperor, War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North had already set off, while the Emperor of the Underworld waited patiently for Yu Yang. If they didn't team up and relied on their own strength, they would definitely die. Not to mention that they were the weakest. Even the rankers from the north, south and south had to put aside their personal grudges and work together to fight against the powerful ancient slaughterers. 10 metal-skinned ancient slaughterers appeared in the middle of the square. They were shaped like ugly behemoth. Its arms were like a gorilla's, and its fangs were like a hawk's. Its upper body was several times larger than its lower body, and its forelimbs had sharp claws that were 10 meters long. Although these ancient slaughterers looked a little hunched, they were terrifyingly tall. Every one of them was 100 meters tall, and they looked like moving castles. Yu Yang looked at them with his heaven eyes' divine vision, and realized that they weren't holy beasts. It was obvious that their intelligence wasn't as high as holy beasts. Each of them was only platinum-ranked level 10. Even the strongest among them wasn't diamond-ranked. However, the ancient slaughterers were unbelievably powerful. The leader of the ancient slaughterers had reached the peak of heaven rank level 2, which was comparable to the Black Hell King's strongest power. As for the ordinary members, they were heaven-ranked level 1. If heaven-ranked level 1 was also divided into middle, and high levels, then these normal ancient slaughter members would all be heaven-ranked level 1 middle stage, which was similar to Wang Jin. Yu Yang felt that they were comparable to the Impatiens who had just ascended to the innate sovereign realm. They were much stronger. Fun Tian, Yun Xing, Black Hell King, the 3 of you come with me to kill the ancient slaughterer leader. Even the strongest Huang Quan didn't dare to be careless. Once the ancient slaughterer leader went on a killing spree, all the warriors who were heaven-ranked level 1 and below would be massacred in less than 10 minutes. The ancient slaughterer leader was the biggest threat, so he had to be eliminated as soon as possible. Understood. The Flame Man, the Liquid Metal Man and the Black Hell King flew forward. Roar. The war gods that were guarding the lower levels of the East, South and North realms started to move forward to attack the enemy. The one guarding the lower levels of the East Heaven realm was a gigantic 12-winged angel. The silver-winged golden body and the halo on top of his head was as bright as the sun. The Sky Emperor was mesmerized by it and almost wanted to kowtow. This 12-winged angel was also the strongest among the war gods of the East, South and North realms. Its power had reached the peak of heaven-ranked level 2 and was comparable to the ancient slaughterer leader. The only difference was their height. This 12-winged angel was only about 50 meters tall, only half of the ancient slaughterer leader's height. In terms of power, there was probably a huge gap between him and the ancient slaughterer leader. Because of this, Huang Quan wasn't willing to let him fight against the ancient slaughterer leader. Because if they were to fight, both sides would probably be heavily injured or even perish together. The one guarding the South Heaven realm was a gigantic tiger-headed lion-tailed man. It was 80 meters tall and had extremely sturdy muscles. Its power was slightly weaker than the 12-winged angel, but it was still heaven-ranked level 2 intermediate. The last war god that was guarding the lower levels of the North Heaven realm was a gigantic skeleton that was covered in black armor and held a huge black sword. It was 100 meters tall and its eyes were glowing with green light. It was the weakest among the 3 war gods, but it was still heaven-ranked level 2 beginner. It was much stronger than the Bone Clan's Wang Jin. This skeleton giant walked at the back, but its attack was the fastest. Before the 12-winged angel and the tiger-headed giant fought, the skeleton giant waved its sword and released a cold shockwave. The shockwave caused an ancient slaughterer that was roaring like thunder to retreat a few steps. The earth-shattering sword chi split the crystal floor. But it only left an almost negligible white mark on the ancient slaughterer's body. The enemy's terrifying defense made Yu Yang's heart palpitate. It seemed like normal moves were useless against them. 1 ancient slaughterer leader and 9 ancient slaughterers might be able to handle it. This battle wasn't a problem. But an hour later, when the second batch of ancient slaughterers was released, would everyone still have the strength to fight? 2 hours later, when the third batch of ancient slaughterers was released, what would be the result? Yu Yang didn't think that they could defeat 10 ancient slaughterers within an hour. If they couldn't defeat them within an hour, they wouldn't be able to defeat them within 2 hours. The number of enemies would increase and the scales of victory would tilt towards the ancient slaughterers. Among the 9 ancient slaughterers, 3 were welcomed by the ancient war god. The half-human half-machine guy, Bone Clan's Wang Jin and a heaven-ranked golden zombie emperor lured away another 3. There were 3 left. You Clan's boy, we have to kill these 3 ancient slaughterers within an hour, or else we will all be annihilated. No matter how much hidden strength you have, use it now. If you don't use it now, you won't have another chance. We alone can't handle 2 or more ancient slaughterers at the same time. Three-eyed Tiger Man looked at Yu Yang and waved at his comrades who didn't participate in the operation just now, signaling them to start attacking. All right. The 3 innate elders who didn't threaten Yu Yang just now, other than the Golden Zombie Emperor, who was in the same northern heaven realm as Bone Clan's Wang Jin, there was also a light man whose body was shining with dazzling brilliance and an insect man whose body was constantly changing shape. Huang Quan, Tiger Man and Light Man belonged to the Eastern Heaven Realms camp and were the strongest. Liquid Metal Man Yunxing, the half-human half-machine guy and insect man belonged to the Southern Heaven Realms camp and were the second strongest. Fireman Fantion, Bone Clan's Wang Jin and the unknown Golden Zombie Emperor belonged to the Northern Heaven Realms camp and were very close to the Southern Heaven Realms camp. They were probably slightly weaker and were ranked 3rd. As for the Western Heaven Realms camp that Yu Yang belonged to, other than the Black Hell King who was a heaven-ranked ranker, the rest of the warriors weren't. The team was still divided. Yu Yang, Elder Nangong and the Southern Demon King were in one group, the Black Hell King, Sky Emperor, War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North were in another group and the Emperor of the Underworld was neutral. In addition, the ancient war god, the giant Loli was injured by the Black Hell King and fainted. It could be said that they were so weak that their allies looked down on them and ignored them. Three-eyed Tiger Man and Light Man worked together to attack one ancient slaughterer, hoping to concentrate their firepower and kill the target within half an hour. Then, they could share the burden of their comrades. The Insect Man restrained one ancient slaughterer. With the help of more than 10 of his comrades, they fought endlessly. As for the remaining one, if the giant Loli was there, it wouldn't be a problem. But now, the Western Heaven Realms camp was in a tragic state. War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North couldn't do any damage to the ancient slaughterer. Once they were hit, they would be killed instantly. It was equivalent to sending food to the ancient slaughterer. What was more frightening was that once a participant died, there would be one more ancient slaughterer. The situation would become even more unsalvageable. I'll leave this to you. No matter what, you have to kill it within an hour. Three-eyed Tiger Man's action was already the lowest task for the people of the Western Heaven Realm's Array Palace. But in reality, it was almost impossible to achieve. The only possibility was Yu Yang. If he didn't do something big, this ancient slaughterer would sweep the entire Western Heaven Realm's camp. Let's lure it to the Crystal Passage. Although the central plaza was big, there were too many variables. Moreover, it was easy for them to be accidentally injured by their comrades. Southern Demon King decided to lure the ancient slaughterer to the Crystal Passage first, then think of a way to kill it. The best situation would be for the giant Loli to wake up and kill the ancient slaughterer with her godly might. The problem was that when she was at her weakest, she was hit by the Black Hell King with all his might and suffered a concussion. Even Yu Yang couldn't say for sure when she would fully recover. Yu Yang kept thinking. He wasn't thinking about the enemy's tactics, but the strategy of the entire battle. His task was to kill an ancient slaughterer. He had already expected this. What the Western Heaven Realm's camp needed to do was to restrain it. Huang Quan and the others didn't expect the Western Heaven Realm's camp to be able to kill the ancient slaughterer. Especially to kill it within an hour. Even the two heaven-ranked rankers, Tiger Man and Light Man, couldn't guarantee that they could do it. But he couldn't leave his fate to others. He had to control it himself. Then what should he do? What should he do to win? The battle began. Loud rumbling sounds erupted and shockwaves shook the entire battlefield. Yu Yang finally made a decision. You guys lure it, I'll kill it. You guys don't have to do anything, just think of a way to attract the monster's attention. Leave the rest to me. Yu Yang was confident that he could kill the ancient slaughterer. Even if it was the ancient slaughterer captain, Yu Yang was confident that he could kill it. But it was impossible to kill it within an hour. Yu Yang had to use the famous kiting tactic in the game to kill the enemy. It was impossible for him to kill it with his current strength. But time didn't allow him to do so. Yu Yang had to kill the enemy faster, and he had to do it within an hour. After observing the ancient slaughterer with his heaven eyes' divine vision, Yu Yang finally thought of a way. Although it might not change the entire situation, Yu Yang still decided to give it a try. His fate must be in his own hands. Under Yu Yang's signal, the Storm Mermaid blew the Storm Horn water battles could unleash the maximum strength of Yu Yang's current beast. The ancient slaughterer in front of him was of the metal attribute and was 100 meters tall. In such a huge space, it wasn't like the ancient titan Wu Su who was bound by the god-binding chains. Water battles wouldn't affect it much, but it was better than nothing. The ancient warriors who were familiar with water battles all helped. They summoned and controlled the water, turning the entire crystal passage into an inner lake. The water slowly submerged the ancient slaughteler's ankles to its knees. The ancient slaughteler's movement was affected. It jumped up from time to time and attacked the Southern Demon King who was flying in front of it and using music to distract its mind. Elder Nangong would attack the ancient slaughterer when the Southern Demon King was in a pinch. What he had to do now was to buy time for Yu Yang. War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North could only attack from a distance. They couldn't even scratch the enemy's skin. The effect of the attack was minimal. Kill. Yu Yang raised his strength to the maximum. He held out a black light in one hand and used the Heaven's Fury Fire Lotus to block the ancient slaughteler's vision. He deceptively attacked the enemy's mouth. In reality, his real target was the ancient slaughteler's eye. As long as the enemy became blind, this kind of low-intelligence enemy's strength would be reduced by half. On the surface, it was the furious Fire Lotus slash. Under the cover, Yu Yang took a risk to get close to the enemy. The black light in his hand pierced towards the ancient slaughterer's right eye like lightning. Chapter 519. Slap! The ancient slaughterer reacted quickly and sent the black dot in front of it flying with its claws. A human's body was as tiny as a mosquito to the ancient slaughterer. It was sent flying with just one swipe. The 10-meter palm was like a moving city wall. A human's body could not defend against it at all. A black dot flew out and landed heavily on the crystal tunnel that was 1,000 meters away. It smashed into pieces. Southern Demon King and Elder Nangong stared with their eyes wide open. Yu Yang was sent flying by the ancient slaughterer just like that? This outcome was unbelievable. However, everyone could see how agile the ancient slaughterer was. Although it was huge, its reaction speed was not like that of a giant beast. It was more like a monkey. War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North retreated in fear. They were afraid that they would be killed instantly by this monster. Damn it! Southern Demon King was furious. His right hand danced on the jade pipa, and the tinkling sound of the pipa changed. The original irritating and disturbing sound turned into a terrifying murderous sound. Every note was like a deadly arrow that shot out. Even though the ancient slaughterer had a strong defense, it could not help but take 3 steps back. Its ears could withstand the smashing of a 10,000-pound hammer and the slashing of a sharp sword. However, it felt a splitting headache from the arrow-like music. It hated it very much. Its mouth that was a few times bigger than the city gate opened and a red flame shot out like a volcano towards Southern Demon King. Elder Nangong's expression changed. He quickly stood in front of Southern Demon King. He drew a circle with both hands. A huge circle of light appeared under his feet. Then, countless golden mirror-like battle formations were erected and started spinning mysteriously. The red flame collided with the golden mirror formation and produced a terrifying explosion. The golden mirror formation was almost completely destroyed. There were only 3 left, and they barely managed to deflect the red flames. Elder Nangong retreated 100 meters away. His face was pale. Although the golden mirror formation blocked the attack, it was still not easy to withstand the red flame. Fortunately, he and the Southern Demon King were safe and sound under the defense of his golden mirror formation. They could easily escape from the ancient slaughterer's attack range. The Storm Mermaid was still summoning, the loud and clear storm horn resounding throughout the entire crystal passage. The sky was pouring with torrential rain, and the water on the ground was becoming more and more turbulent. The water gradually rose to the ancient slaughterer''s thigh. The ancient slaughterer still gave up on the Southern Demon King and charged towards the Storm Mermaid. Although it had low intelligence, but he could also sense that things were not going well. The Southern Demon King and Elder Nangong attacked continuously, but the effects were minimal. The ancient slaughterer was focused on killing the Storm Mermaid who could summon storms. In its eyes, this little thing was a huge problem. If it didn't kill her as soon as possible, the following battles would be very troublesome. Instinctively, it made the first choice and pounced towards the Storm Mermaid. Of course, the Thunder Naga wouldn't let it have its way. A bolt of lightning struck the ancient slaughterer's head, but it was just an itch to it. It paused for a moment, then ignored it and continued moving forward. What should we do? The Southern Demon King and Elder Nangong were helpless. War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North looked at each other. They both had the intention to retreat from the battle. They decided not to team up with Yu Yang and the others who were destined to lose. They still hoped to fight alongside the Black Hell King, because the Black Hell King was the strongest. A tragic wail resounded in the crystal passage. Elder Nangong and the Southern Demon King then realized that the one they sent flying wasn't Yu Yang, but a humanoid puppet. The real Yu Yang had been hiding under the ancient slaughterer''s eyes. When it was distracted, he stuck close to its eyelids and ruthlessly stabbed it. The ancient slaughterer''s right eye was blinded. It turned into a one-eyed dragon. The black light that entered its eyes caused the ancient slaughterer to feel endless pain. Even if it had an impenetrable body, it couldn't help. This was because Yu Yang's target was the weakest, the eyes. The sharp black light, coupled with Yu Yang's innate qi, broke through all defenses and penetrated deep into the pupils. War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North were shocked. This was because they didn't notice Yu Yang's concealment at all. This meant that not only did Yu Yang's disguise confuse the ancient slaughterer, even the more intelligent human innates couldn't see through it. If this brat became an assassin, who could escape from his assassination? War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North were enlightened. No wonder the #1 assassin in Tong Tian Tower, and she, would choose to team up with Yu Yang when they were trying to kill the Ocean Emperor Guan Lan. No wonder the Ocean Emperor Guan Lan died in his hands. They didn't expect that Yu Yang's original concealment ability was far inferior to An Shi's. He only learned it secretly from An Shi during the battle with the Ocean Emperor. If Yu Yang's concealment and counterfeit inherent skill could still be seen through by others, then he wouldn't be able to live in this world anymore. Roar! The ancient slaughterer was crazy. Even though it was in pain, it still grabbed onto the escaping Yu Yang with its claw. It crushed it into pieces. However, this was only the evil shadow clone that Yu Yang used to confuse it. His real body had already appeared in front of the ancient slaughterer''s other eye. This time, he didn't use the black light. Instead, he used the god-killing dagger that was on par with the black light. Blinding one of the enemy's eyes wasn't very useful. The only way to win the battle was to completely destroy the enemy's vision. The god-killing dagger combined with the strongest sword. Sword chi filled the sky and sliced open the ancient slaughterer''s left eye. The most shocking scene appeared. Elder Nangong was shocked, while the Southern Demon King almost fainted. The ancient slaughterer that had lost both its eyes didn't continue to howl. Instead, it pressed its left eye crazily and dug out Yu Yang and the eye. Then, it stuffed them into its mouth and started chewing. It seemed to realize that its biggest enemy was the little human man that destroyed its eyes. Hence, it ate him without any hesitation. Such a crazy move completely shocked the audience. War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North were so scared that their bodies went soft. They stood there blankly, not knowing what to do. Southern Demon King's body was shaking. She couldn't accept this outcome. So what if the ancient slaughterer was blind? So what if they won the battle? She only hoped that Yu Yang would survive. Without him, there was no meaning in winning the battle. Roar, roar! The ancient slaughterer pounded its chest crazily, cheering for killing its cunning enemy. Although it lost both its eyes, it finally got its revenge. The Lamia lowly Shaowenli was like an arrow as she flew in front of him. Its eyes were wide open. Binding inherent skill was unleashed. The ancient slaughterer''s cheering action froze. Originally, this was the best time to attack. However, Elder Nangong and Southern Demon King were stunned and didn't react at all. War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North looked like fools, like passers-by. Only the Emperor of the Underworld, who had been watching the battle, suddenly went forward and sent War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North flying. In the next second, the ancient slaughterer regained its movement. Its arms slammed down heavily, aiming at where War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North were. Its cheering action was a cunning disguise. Its goal was to kill its enemy. Luckily, the Emperor of the Underworld came to their rescue. Otherwise, War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North would be dead. Once the two of them died, two more ancient slaughterers would join the battle. There would be no need to fight this battle anymore. Be rational. The little brat isn't dead. His beast is still fighting. Elder Nangong recovered quickly. He was overjoyed when he saw little one Li still floating in the air. That's right. Southern Demon King also reacted. If its master was dead, then its guardian beast wouldn't be alive. Yu Yang definitely wasn't dead. But where did he run off to? Could he really escape from such a quick eye-gouging action just now? If he really escaped, why didn't anyone see him? Could it be that he was still in the ancient slaughterer stomach? Southern Demon King sweated profusely when she thought about this. However, since Yu Yang wasn't dead, she calmed down. She played her jade pipa excitedly and attacked the ancient slaughterer like a storm. Little Wunli teleported and pulled Southern Demon King to escape. The Southern Goblin King still didn't understand why. Suddenly, a heaven-suppressing force appeared. She felt like she was suffocating. She turned her head with difficulty and saw that the ancient slaughtener's bloody left eye socket was shining with thousands of colorful lights. This was the radiance of the prison Emperor Divine Seal. Then, a pillar of nirvana flame rose from the ancient slaughtener's left eye socket. It pierced through the forehead and the skull. It rose from the ancient slaughtener's forehead and rushed towards the crystal dome. When it rose to a height of 1,000 meters, it turned into a gigantic fire phoenix and flew back. With a boom, the ancient slaughtener's head started burning. The powerful ancient slaughterer completely lost its valiance at this moment. It stood there blankly. Under the burning of the nirvana flame, it slowly knelt down. Both of its knees went soft and finally fell onto the water surface with a loud bang, creating a huge wave. In the sky, Yu Yang rode on the back of the fire phoenix. He held a burning black crystal the size of a house in his right hand and a prison Emperor Divine Seal in his left hand. That kind of power was unparalleled. Countless ancient era's warriors knelt down and kowtowed to him. War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North trembled. They almost knelt down too. The Sky Emperor was stunned. His lips trembled unnaturally. The Yu Yang in front of him reminded him of the prison emperor, who almost exterminated the entire Guangming continent 6,000 years ago. This Yu clan's third young master was actually the new prison emperor. He even had the world-exterminating wheel and nirvana flame compared to the prison emperor. He was even scarier. The black crystal the size of a house quickly melted in the nirvana flame. In the end, it was refined into a dark golden crystal the size of a fist. The soul of the ancient slaughterer was completely destroyed. 10 ancient slaughterers. The first person to kill them was the Yu clan's third young master from the western heaven realm, Yu Yang. The Southern Demon King was so excited that her eyes were brimming with tears. This was his power. Even if the Western Heaven Realm's lower levels had fallen, there was still the one and only Yu Yang. Little Wunli flew over and hugged Yu Yang's neck. Together with him, she rode on the fire phoenix formed by nirvana flame and flew towards the battlefield outside. The battle still had to continue in the central plaza. Although Huang Quan, Fun Tian, Yun Xing and the Black Hell King were attacking together, the ancient slaughterer leader was still injured but not defeated. Relying on its strong body, it was not afraid of any attacks. While it was being attacked, it retaliated crazily. It completely ignored everyone's attacks and forced the 4 strongest warriors to dodge. No one dared to face it head-on. "All of you, get out of the way!" Yu Yang shouted. His voice reverberated through the entire central plaza. Seeing the appearance of the fire phoenix formed by nirvana flame, the crazy ancient slaughterer leader immediately turned around and ran away. The arrogant ancient slaughterer leader actually did not dare to fight with Yu Yang. It seemed to be naturally afraid of this kind of flame that could destroy the world and purify everything. Everyone was shocked. The Burning Man Fentian stuttered. "What? You really killed that ancient slaughterer?" The calm Huang Quan couldn't help but be moved. He praised. As expected of the peerless genius that only appears once in 10,000 years in the soaring dragon continent. This is really a surprise. Only 10 minutes have passed and you can kill an ancient slaughterer alone. If you survive in the end, Huang Quan is willing to fight you with all his might to decide who the divine equipment belongs to. The Black Hell King's gaze towards Yu Yang was not one of surprise, but of jealousy and incomparable hatred. It was the expression he had when he looked at the prison emperor. It reappeared 6,000 years later. Chapter 520. Yu Yang had long sensed Black Hell King's desire to kill him, but he pretended not to see it. Since Black Hell King was an enemy, Yu Yang didn't mind letting his jealousy burn him alive. It would be best if he was so angry that he bled from all 7 orifices. In this death arena, even though they were teammates, Yu Yang and the Black Hell King were destined to never be able to coexist. Did Black Hell King want to walk out alive? This wasn't the final decision of the ancient slaughterers, but Yu Yang had to agree to it first. No matter how strong or weak they were, Black Hell King would only get 1 point for each kill. Even if he killed everyone, Black Hell King wouldn't be able to gather 100 points. After Yu Yang killed an ancient slaughterer alone, he obtained 2 points and 5 points. At the same time, as the god's chosen party leader, he received a secret information. When one's points were far above 100, the leader had the authority to distribute 1/3 of the points to the teammates who did not have enough points. Yu Yang definitely wouldn't tell Black Hell King about the points. With Black Hell King's suspicious nature, he probably wouldn't believe other people's words. If Black Hell King didn't know his points, he would definitely go crazy. As for Yu Yang, who had the top secret information, all he had to do was to fight for points. Furthermore, the 3 captains, Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing, had not obtained any points and did not know the points. This death arena definitely encouraged duels, because the reward for winning a duel was far greater than a kill. According to the generous reward for a solo kill, Yu Yang only needed to kill 15 ancient slaughterers to get 105 points, which was more than what he needed to survive. In other words, Yu Yang was still short of 14 ancient slaughterers. No matter how the battle turned out, he would be able to leave safely. The reason why Yu Yang didn't hesitate to reveal his hidden strength to snatch the ancient slaughterer leader was to find out the points for killing the leader. He definitely couldn't let Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing know about this. More importantly, Yu Yang needed to use the ancient slaughterer leader to force himself to level up quickly. The Black Hell King probably wouldn't hold it in for long before he made his move. Yu Yang had to level up or break through to a new realm before that happened. At the very least, he had to let Little One Li and the other beasts level up. Only then would they have enough power to protect themselves. Yu Clan's 3rd young master, I'll leave the ancient slaughterer team leader to you. It's okay if you can't kill it, as long as you hold it back. We'll come over as soon as possible. The Burning Man Fun Tian and the Liquid Metal Man Yun Xing didn't stand on ceremony either. They knew that the ancient slaughterer captain was hard to deal with. Now that Yu Yang was willing to step in and hold it back, they were naturally happy. Including Huang Quan, they also left in a hurry to surround and kill the other ancient slaughterers. They worked together and used the wolf pack tactic to kill the weakest first before thinking of a way to kill the ancient slaughterer leader. The Black Hell King's expression was gloomy. He really wanted to attack Yu Yang, but he was afraid that if he failed to kill Yu Yang, he would be surrounded by Huang Quan and the others. After all, if they rebelled now, they would become everyone's public enemy. He clenched his teeth angrily. He decided to let Yu Yang live for a while longer and wait for an opportunity to kill him. Of course, what worried the Black Hell King the most was that he was afraid that Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing would kill all the ancient slaughterers and snatch all the points. In the end, he would be killed by the ancient code because he didn't have enough points. After some consideration, the Black Hell King chased after Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing like an arrow. These 3 team leaders were attacking an ancient slaughterer with 3-eyed Tiger Man, Light Man and the others. The ancient slaughterer that the 5 of them were attacking was the only one that was obviously injured. The other 7 had almost negligible injuries. Of course, the Black Hell King didn't want to be at a disadvantage, so he joined in. He attacked as he waited for the last chance to strike. Everyone still didn't know that only the one who successfully killed the enemy would get points. But no matter what, killing the ancient slaughterer in front of them was what everyone needed the most. The 6 strongest people took turns to attack. No matter how tough the unlucky ancient slaughterer was, it couldn't take it anymore. Its injuries became more and more serious. A huge hole appeared on its metallic skin and blood gushed out like a fountain. However, this guy didn't die from his injuries and could still attack crazily. After another 10 minutes, the ancient slaughterer finally couldn't take it anymore and fell. Huang Quan, Fun Tian, Yun Xing and the Black Hell King all stopped their attacks at the same time. Three-Eyed Tiger Man was shocked and quickly jumped out of the battle circle to prevent himself from becoming the target of everyone's attacks. As for Light Man, he also looked at Huang Quan. As he belonged to the Eastern Heaven Realm, he had always treated Huang Quan as his leader. Because we don't know how to calculate the points, I suggest that everyone attack together and kill it together. Fireman Fun Tian suggested the most reasonable solution. I agree. Liquid Metal Man Yun Xing looked at Huang Quan. Black Hell King was secretly resentful. He who was used to being high and mighty was now ignored by everyone. This was because he wasn't the strongest. The silver-haired Huang Quan who had his eyes closed was the strongest. Alright, let's do it this way. Huang Quan muttered and finally agreed to this plan. When the other 5 heard this, they were secretly happy. No matter what, the points for killing this ancient slaughterer were finally in their hands. At this rate, they could kill at least 4 or more ancient slaughterers before the second batch was released. This was because after 20 minutes of battle, many ancient slaughterers were injured. As long as everyone fought with all their might, it was highly possible that they could kill all the ancient slaughterers in 40 minutes, just as the 6 of them were gathering their strength and preparing to unleash their ultimate move to kill the ancient slaughterer that had fallen to the ground. Suddenly, an extremely mournful wail was heard. Then, a suffocating power that deterred the entire ancient battlefield enveloped the entire place. This was the power of the prison Emperor Divine Seal. Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing's expressions changed. Could it be that Yu Clan's third young master was going to kill the ancient slaughterer team leader again? Everyone's senses immediately spread far and wide. They could feel that Yu Clan's third young master's aura instantly rose to its peak in the Western Heaven Realm's crystal passage. His might was unparalleled and made everyone's heart tremble. Then, the crystal passage was filled with cheers for the second time. The first time was when Yu Clan's third young master killed the first ancient slaughterer. Could it be that he killed the ancient slaughterer team leader again? How was this possible? He was only innate level 10. Even if he had Nirvana Flame and World Exterminating Wheel, he couldn't possibly surpass level 2 and kill the ancient slaughterer team leader that was heaven-ranked level 2, right? Even Huang Quan, Fun Tian, Yun Xing and Black Hell King, the 4 strongest warriors, couldn't do anything to this team leader. Impossible, he must have injured it and gained the upper hand. Three-Eyed Tiger Man waved his hands. Everyone also felt that it was impossible for Yu Yang to kill the ancient slaughterer team leader. It would already be great if he could injure it severely. Who would have thought that within a few seconds, the ancient slaughterer team leader's aura and soul would disappear without a trace? Although they didn't see it with their own eyes, their sharp senses would definitely not be wrong. Huang Quan, Fun Tian, Yun Xing and the rest's expressions changed. The Black Hell King gritted his teeth. He couldn't hold it in any longer and his chest almost exploded. When Yu Yang killed the ancient slaughterer just now, he was already very unhappy. Now, out of the 6 experts, he had finally defeated one. Before he could even kill it, this brat actually killed the ancient slaughterer team leader first. If he were to continue like this, wouldn't it be bad if all the points were snatched away by him? Most importantly, if he were to continue to grow like this, would he still have a place to stand? Ah! The Burning Man Fun Tian almost went crazy. He used both his hands to attack the ancient slaughterer that had fallen to the ground. Huang Quan and the rest weren't slow either. They attacked at the same time. Only Three-Eyed Tiger Man was slightly slower. When he attacked, the ancient slaughterer was already completely dead. After killing it, the three team leaders Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing received the news that the points would be split equally. 5 points would be split equally. Each of them would get 4 points. In other words, they would only get 2 points after painstakingly killing an ancient slaughterer, and it was even split equally. The worst was Three-Eyed Tiger Man, who attacked the slowest. He didn't even get any points and wasted his energy. Of course, Huang Quan and the other 2 team leaders wouldn't tell him this. One ancient slaughterer is worth 2 points. Each of us will only get 3 points. Fun Tian was afraid that Huang Quan would secretly reveal the points to Three-Eyed Tiger Man, so he quickly took the lead. When can I gather 100 points? Three-Eyed Tiger Man was stunned. This amount of points was asking for his life. Black Hell King laughed coldly in his heart. It seemed that it was impossible to gather 100 points by killing ancient slaughterers. The best way was still to kill others. He decided to attack at some point and kill all the participants who were below heaven rank. At the same time, he would gather 100 points and let Yu Yang, Huang Quan and the rest fall into the hands of countless enemies and die a tragic death. Black Hell King had a unique inherent skill. He was confident that he could do this. Of course, snatching points was what he wanted to do the most, because every point he snatched would mean 1 less point for everyone here. Black Hell King looked at Huang Quan. The only person he was a little afraid of was this silver-haired guy with closed eyes. However, this guy was only concerned about Yu Yang. He could make use of this point. He planned in secret. Three-Eyed Tiger Man and the Light Man rushed to the next target. Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing rushed to the crystal passage. They wanted to see how Yu Yang killed the ancient slaughterer leader. From afar, they could see the deep water that almost formed an inner lake. Storm Mermaid and the other beasts still had to summon a storm. The floating corpse of the ancient slaughterer leader was being split by the ancient warriors excitedly. Yu Yang was no longer here. Not only him, even Elder Nan Gong, Southern Demon King and Emperor of the Underworld, were nowhere to be seen. The only one who was here, the Sky Emperor, had a terrible expression on his face. What exactly happened? Black Hell King floated in front of the Sky Emperor and asked. That brat was hiding his strength. It's terrifying. Sky Emperor looked at Huang Quan and the rest. He wanted to say something but stopped. When he recalled what happened just now, he couldn't help but shiver. A golden giant appeared on Yu Yang's body. It was a few hundred meters tall and killed the ancient slaughterer leader instantly. War Tiger of the East's lips trembled. Maybe it was a one-time use skill. The duration was very short, but the power was terrifying. Fierce Tooth of the North's face was also pale. At that time, did the golden giant twist the ancient slaughterer leader's head off? Huang Quan suddenly asked. I'm not sure, because we were pressed under the golden giant's feet and submerged in the water. At the same time, the sky was covered by its feet. We couldn't raise our heads to see what happened above. War Tiger of the East swallowed his saliva and tried his best to dispel his nervousness. When we could raise our heads again, the ancient slaughterer leader had already been killed and his head had fallen off. It was very fast, the whole process only took a few seconds. The pressure just now shouldn't be from the prison Emperor Divine Seal, but from the golden giant. Is that Yu Yang's beast or the real God's chosen one? Fun Tian's words made Huang Quan and Yun Xing feel a sense of danger. The one who opened the ancient arena was definitely the God's chosen one. Yu Yang's third young master wasn't the leader. Then the real leader could be hiding beside him and killing the enemy together with Yu Yang. It's possible. Black Hell King's heart trembled. No wonder Yu Yang was so arrogant all along and wasn't afraid of him. He had a powerful backer behind him. Was this person Ji Zun? Black Hell King couldn't be sure, because there weren't many in Tong Tian Tower who could kill the ancient slaughterer leader in one move. Other than the most mysterious and powerful Ji Zun, who else could it be? However, if Ji Zun was here, would she hide herself? If she was that powerful, Why would she let Huang Quan decide the direction of the battle? Why didn't she stand out and lead the battle? No one could understand. Time didn't allow them to think too much. Time passed by minute by minute. There was only half an hour left before the second batch of ancient slaughterers were released. However, they had only killed 3 enemies. Furthermore, if they didn't fight with all their might, Yu Yang would snatch all the points. If that happened, everyone would fall into a passive state. Huang Quan and the rest immediately left to find their next target. Yu Yang was sure that even if the ancient slaughterer leader got 2 points, he would get at least 4 points. His points were already 10 times more than the rest. Of course, even Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing didn't know that the reward for killing an ancient slaughterer leader was as high as 5 points. And the reward for winning a solo battle was 10 points. Yu Yang, who received such rewards, had already gone crazy. He decided to fight till the end. The most important thing was to keep this a secret. It would be best if he could keep it a secret until the final battle. Doing this was very selfish, but Yu Yang never thought of himself as a good person. Furthermore, being generous to the Black Hell King and the rest was being cruel to himself. Yu Yang, who had never eaten jinkala and retarded pills, would definitely not do this. Bad guy, alright, Yu Yang was born to be a bad guy. Don't think that I didn't hide my strength. Yu Yang decided to say this to the Black Hell King before he died. Chapter 521. Huang Quan and the rest realized that 2 ancient slaughterers had already been blinded by Yu Clan's 3rd young master before they reached the central plaza. The method was unknown, but this action made them very happy. Everyone knew how hard it was to fight against the ancient slaughterers. Blinding them was undoubtedly the best tactic. Losing their vision was a fatal blow to the ancient slaughterers. At least their battle power would be halved. They did not suspect anything. They would never have guessed that Yu Yang did this not to let everyone kill the ancient slaughterers faster, but to ensure that he could get a share of the points for every ancient slaughterer killed. In other words, other than Yu Yang himself, no one else would be able to get the reward for solo kills. Yu Yang would be able to keep this secret for a longer period of time. At the same time, he would also be able to control the points of the death arena battle. Yu Yang understood the difficulties he was facing. The representatives from the east, south and north who had been preparing for the ancient war for hundreds of years were even harder to deal with than the ancient slaughterers. Also, the Black Hell King who could attack him anytime was a ticking time bomb. If Yu Yang did not get the upper hand, his situation would become more and more dangerous. Impatience was not by his side. City Mistress Fallen Flowers, Princess Sisai and Shui Wuxia were also not around. He could not escape from the death arena and had to fight alone. It could be said that the battle now was 10 times more dangerous than when he barged into the prison Emperor Divine Palace. Yu Clan's 3rd young master, use your ability to create more opportunities. Burning Man Fantian was not willing to reveal his full strength immediately. He hoped that Yu Yang would attack more often. He was not the only one who had this thought. The strongest Huang Quan and Yun Xing also had the same mentality. They knew that the battle would not end after this battle. In the next few hours, there would be at least 2 more waves of ancient slaughterers descending. After a short break of 3 days, there would be 3 more waves of ancient slaughterers descending. The tough battle would continue until all the ancient slaughterers were dead, or all the participants were dead. Discounting the death penalty for the participants, there were already 10 waves of ancient slaughterers that were released into the death arena. Moreover, the strength of the ancient slaughterers released later on would become stronger. The last wave was most likely made up of captain-level ancient slaughterers. If he didn't hold back now and went all out, he wouldn't be able to hold on for much longer. Moreover, if the ancient slaughterers were all dead, there was still the final battle of the 4 participants. That was the final battle. At this moment, Yu Yang's outstanding performance was only the beginning. The fireman Fantian, Huang Quan and the rest were not jealous. On the contrary, they were secretly happy, because the more the opponent's strength was consumed, the less of a threat he posed to them. Compared to Yu Yang, who was going all out, Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing, who were hiding their strength, made Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing more cautious. A cold light flashed across the Black Hell King's eyes. However, Yu Yang saw it. He secretly sneered. Complacent? Let's see how long you can be proud of yourself. Yu Yang knew that this guy wouldn't cooperate and would definitely kill him, but he couldn't kill him first. Firstly, the situation was dangerous. Killing the Black Hell King would only make the situation more passive. Secondly, the Black Hell King was hard to kill. This guy had a full set of holy ranked equipments to protect his body. In addition to his hidden strength, even the strongest Huang Quan might not be able to kill the Black Hell King. The Black Hell King didn't move for the time being, but that didn't mean that Yu Yang didn't have the initiative. As long as he could get all the points, no matter how powerful the Black Hell King was, he would still be killed by the ancient code. Therefore, what Yu Yang needed to do now was to use the Battle of the Ancient Slaughterers to improve himself. He had to improve as fast as possible to catch up to the Black Hell King and surpass this powerful enemy. Only then would he be able to obtain the final victory and the greatest benefits in this war. Crystal Central Plaza. The war was going on like a raging fire. And in another unit world, in heaven outside heaven. What's wrong? The war god guard's elder twin sister, who gave Yu Yang a mysterious half-moon ornament previously, landed beside Shui Wuxia like a meteor after defeating an ancient giant ape. She asked curiously, "Are you feeling unwell?" "No, I just have a strange feeling of unease. I suddenly can't concentrate." Shui Wuxia also couldn't understand why it was like this. "Is it because Princess Sisai returned to the Soaring Dragon continent today?" The younger twin sister blinked her big eyes and asked. "No, I can't explain it clearly." Shui Wuxia also suspected it before, but she immediately denied it. "You have always been training and haven't returned for a long time. Why don't you go back today?" The heroic war god guard sister suggested. "The training mission has already been completed," the younger war god guard sister added cutely. "This, alright." Shui Wuxia couldn't dispel the inexplicable palpitation in her heart. Hearing this, she decided to return to the Soaring Dragon continent that she hadn't seen for a few months to see her lover. She hadn't seen him for a long time. She didn't know how he was doing recently. Although she could often receive his letters, she missed him more and more. Was it really because Princess Sisai returned to the Soaring Dragon continent that she couldn't resist the pain of missing him? With doubts, Shui Wuxia and the war god guard sisters left the unit world. Returning to the Soaring Dragon continent. Tianluo Palace. Princess Sisai was walking towards the mirage. She didn't even return to the Desya Palace. She didn't even go back to visit her father first. Instead, she ran to see Yu Yang. The prison Emperor Divine sword on her back emitted an unparalleled majesty. It faintly merged with her aura. Princess Sisai, who could control the divine sword better, everyone bowed to her respectfully wherever she went. The current her had already leveled up to become a supreme ranker. Just as Princess Qian left the palace, two women ran in front of the Tianluo Imperial Palace. One was a woman wearing a black cloak, a coral mask, and a white whale staff in her hand. The other was a half-elf girl who was wearing a cloak and a white veil that couldn't hide her peerless beauty. The palace guards only felt an indescribable fragrance coming towards them. They were so intoxicated that they almost couldn't wake up. Only the golden armor captain on duty was able to keep his cool. He quickly pulled out his sword and stopped the two girls. "Tianluo Palace is not a place to barge in. We are looking for Fourth Mother urgently." The girl wearing the coral mask hurriedly expressed her intention. "There is no such person as Fourth Mother in the Tianluo Palace." The golden armor captain immediately denied. Although there were only two girls, they were extremely powerful. He was secretly on guard, especially the girl wearing the coral mask. Not to mention hiding her strength, the strength that she showed on the surface was already a lesser innate. There weren't many people like this in the soaring dragon continent. What made the golden armor captain confused was that he had never heard of these two girls. Why did they suddenly come? Were they friend or foe? He couldn't tell at all. The golden armor captain would definitely not let these two unfamiliar girls into the Tian Luo palace. Moreover, how could Fata Morgana be entered so easily? The girl wearing the coral mask immediately shouted. Fourth mother is the Yu clan third young master's fourth mother. If she isn't here, we will look for Yu clan third young master's sister, Yu second Miss Yu. If she isn't here, we will look for third young master's sister, Yu Bing. If not, we can look for Yu clan third young master's teammates, Yi Kong, Haida Fu, Shui Tan Lang or Prince of Tian Luo. If they aren't here, please report to Tian Luo Emperor or Xia Emperor. We have an urgent matter to discuss. This matter is extremely urgent, you have to report it immediately. The golden armor captain was dumbfounded. Who are you looking for? Who are you? Reveal your identity immediately. The girl wearing the coral mask paused for a while. You have no right to know my identity. This is a secret. You have to report it immediately, we can't delay any longer. No, if you don't reveal your identity, I will definitely not report it to you. The golden armor captain rejected immediately. What a joke, what if it was an assassin sent by the Black Hell Army? Wouldn't he be neglecting his duty? Moreover, the people they wanted to meet were all under the country's protection. What a stubborn fool! The girl wearing the coral mask raised her white whale staff angrily. If I was an enemy, I could kill you anytime. We are allies, we really have urgent information. That won't do, I will definitely not report it to an unknown person. The golden armor captain was also stubborn. Was a lesser innate so arrogant? This was Tian Luo Palace, and he was the captain of the palace guards. Even if an innate came, he could not neglect his duty. Moreover, anyone from Longting would know that the palace guards had no right to let people enter the mirage. If they didn't even know this, even if these two girls weren't enemies, they wouldn't be allies either. If they wanted to look for Yi Kong, Fatty Hai and Shui Tanlang, they should go to the Yu clan castle. Why would they come to Tian Luo Palace? These two girls didn't know anything, could they really be allies? These two people were extremely suspicious. They must not be allowed to enter the palace. The golden armor captain thought of this and signaled all the guards to prepare for battle. The girl wearing the coral mask suppressed her anger. We are really allies. If you don't want to report it, then let's go to the Yu clan castle. Where's the teleportation circle? The golden armor captain thought to himself, you don't even know the teleportation circle in Tian Luo Palace, how could you be allies? He kept his mouth shut. If it wasn't for the difference in strength, the golden armor captain would have wanted to capture these two suspicious girls and report it to his superiors. What happened? Princess Qian Qian, whose six senses were sharp, felt a strange reaction from outside before she entered the mirage. Under the control of her powerful six senses, she suppressed the excitement of seeing Yu Yang and walked out with big strides. Divine equipment? The girl wearing the coral mask was stunned when she saw Princess Sisai. Prison Emperor Divine Sword, she is Princess Sisai. The half-elf girl immediately pounced towards Princess Sisai. How dare you? The golden armor captain thought that the other party wanted to assassinate Princess Sisai and snatch the divine equipment. He immediately became furious and slashed down with his sword. Princess Sisai raised her hand and pointed. The wind from her finger miraculously deflected the golden armor captain's sword. At the same time, the white whale staff turned into a shadow and protected the head of the half-elf girl. The half-elf girl staggered and fell into Princess Sisai's embrace. She was so emotional that she couldn't say anything. Her tears fell like rain, as if she wanted to say something, but she couldn't say a word. Princess Sisai was confused. She hugged the half-elf girl with one hand and gestured for the golden armor captain to step back. She has no ill intentions. Who are you? What happened? Her 6 records. Inherent skill could sense that the 2 girls in front of her didn't have any killing intent. They were definitely not assassins sent by the Black Hell Army. But she couldn't guess why they were here. The girl wearing the coral mask was also very emotional when she saw Princess Sisai. She quickly calmed down and raised her hand to greet. Your Highness, as there are many eyes and ears around, we can't reveal our identities for now. But we have no ill intentions. Princess Sisai, I'm not a bad person. Master is in danger, quickly go and save him. The half-elf girl didn't have any ulterior motives. She said it out loud. Princess Sisai shuddered when she heard it. She quickly covered her mouth. Understood, we'll go in and talk, we can't talk here. She then turned around and waved at the palace guards. All of you, take turns to guard the palace. No one is allowed to leave for any reason. Yes. Although the golden armor captain didn't understand what was going on, he realized the severity of the situation. He turned around and roared at the confused guards. All of you listen up. From now on, the palace guards are on red alert. All of you are to follow me into the quiet room to rest. No one is allowed to come into contact with the outside world. Otherwise, it will be considered as leaking national secrets and you will be killed. Princess Sisai didn't wait for the palace guards to act. She had already carried the half-elf girl and brought the girl wearing the coral mask inside. They ran all the way in the palace and rushed into the mirage. Chapter 522. Clan Castle. In the martial arts practice plaza, a little thief who was tied up was crying bitterly. I'm innocent, I'm really not a spy. You guys are too unreasonable, I'm only a level 2 brave man. Would the Black Hell Army want me? I'm really just here to deliver a letter. This little thief was crying with tears and snot all over his face. Maybe he's really innocent. Lu Ye's heart softened a little. Speaking of a spy, wasn't this little thief too weak? Crying like this, even if he's really a spy, he's too pitiful. You guys should make him turn over a new leaf. Bao Er's heart was as soft as tofu. Turning over a new leaf is too much of a waste of time. I might as well let you die of old age. Fatty Hai took out a dagger and gestured at the little thief's body, as if he was trying to find a place to stab. With this gesture, the little thief immediately cried out in fear, almost peeing his pants on the spot. Yi Kong, Xue Tan Lang and Prince of Tianlua looked at each other, feeling very strange. To say that this little thief was a spy, but he was really too weak. To say that he wasn't a spy was also very suspicious. This brat said that he was here to deliver a letter, but they couldn't find any letter even after searching his body. He only said that there were 2 female rankers from the 6th floor who asked him to pass a message to Clan 3rd Young Master's teammates, asking them to find Ji Zun immediately. This sentence was the biggest lie. Yi Kong, Fatty Hai and the others felt that they didn't have the qualifications to meet Ji Zun. No matter how stupid they were, they could still pass a message like this. Furthermore, no one knew the 2 women that this little thief described. The description was also very vague, as if he was making things up. What cloak covering her whole body, wearing a coral mask, holding a white whale staff and not being able to see her real face. Wasn't this nonsense? How could there be a woman in the soaring dragon continent who dressed like this? From this, it could be deduced that this little thief was lying. After being caught, he had no choice but to tell such a clumsy lie. There were 2 other points that were the most suspicious. First, this little thief was from the Zijin Kingdom. Why would someone from the Zijin Kingdom send a letter to the Clan Castle? If the Zijin Kingdom's bandits were not spies, then what were they? Secondly, this little thief claimed that he had brought 2 women down to the soaring dragon continent from the 6th floor of Tong Tian Tower. With his strength, let alone the 6th floor of Tong Tian Tower, Even the third or fourth floor would be difficult for him. Could he adapt to the gravity of the sixth floor of Tong Tian Tower? It was obvious that this was a lie. It was complete nonsense. I'm really innocent, don't kill me. I'm just greedy for money, for the sake of 100 gold. Furthermore, I don't have any enmity with your Xia or the Yu clan. Why would I become a spy for the Zijin kingdom? Even a fool would know how powerful the Yu clan's third young master is. With just a single breath from him, I would fall to the ground and die. How would I dare to go against him? The little thief cried his heart out. Nonsense. I've never heard of a quest that's worth 100 gold coins. Do you think I'm an idiot? Fatty Hai flew into a rage and kicked the little thief a few times. This fellow looks like he needs to be taught a lesson. Wait till we peel off a layer of his skin, he'll probably tell us the truth. Yen Pejun and Feng Qisha also felt that it was impossible. 100 gold coins was just a reward for leading the way? Tong Tian Tower had never had this kind of quest before. Even if there was, this little thief wouldn't go up to the 6th floor of Tong Tian Tower to accept the quest. Did he think that all the mercenaries in the 6th floor of Tong Tian Tower were blind? What about the 2 women you brought down from the 6th floor of Tong Tian Tower? Anna asked attentively. They had teleportation scrolls and left immediately after reaching the soaring dragon continent. They only told me to deliver a message to the Yu clan castle. The little thief swore that this was true. Impossible, they have teleportation scrolls, which proves that they know people from the soaring dragon continent. Why would they need you to lead the way? Lin En immediately denied. They said that they know the Yu clan's third young master. The little thief defended himself. That's even more impossible. They know the third young master, why would they ask you to lead the way? Yikong also felt that the little thief's words were too unreasonable. When they asked you to pass the message to us, other than telling us to look for Ji Zun immediately, what else did they say? Could it be that the third young master is in danger and urgently needs help? Tell me clearly, I guarantee that they won't hurt you, and will even give you 100 gold. Anna's intuition told him that something was wrong. There was no meaning for the Black Hell Army to get such a weak little thief. On the contrary, if what this brat said was true, then there would be a problem. I don't know, they only told you to look for Ji Zun. I don't know anything, I was just leading the way for them. The little thief tried his best to describe. There were 2 of them. One was very tall, even taller than me. She had golden hair and green eyes. She wore a coral mask and held a white whale staff in her hand. She was very strong and might be an innate. I saw that the people on the 6th floor respected her very much. The other one was as tall as Princess Bao Er. Although her face was covered with a veil, I felt that she looked very good. She didn't look like the girls in the soaring dragon continent. They seemed very weak and timid, but they were very pleasant to hear. They didn't allow me to raise my head to look, so I didn't see clearly. But it's true, I swear that I didn't say a single lie. Are you kidding me? You didn't say a single lie, but everything you said was false. Fatty Hai kicked him. You're only a level 2, brave man. How did you get to the 6th floor? Shui Tan Lang asked the main point. I have a smoke elastic monster that can resist gravity and protect its body. It can go up to the 6th floor. Furthermore, my father used to be a traveling merchant, so he brought me up to the 6th floor many times. I have always been doing missions to carry items or deliver letters between the 1st floor and the 6th floor. Today, I was carrying wine for a mercenary on the 6th floor. I saw that the Warriors Guild had just announced a mission to lead the way for 100 gold coins, and I passed, so I mustered up my courage and accepted it. I really didn't lie. How would I dare to be a spy here? Moreover, Zijin Kingdom confiscated my father's assets 10 years ago, causing him to die of depression. I don't have any good feelings towards them at all, so why would I be a spy for them? The little thief's hands trembled as he summoned a bronze-ranked level 2 smoke elastic monster. Before we investigate the matter clearly, you will have to stay in the Clan castle. If we can prove that you are really a messenger, then we will compensate you with 150 gold coins. Prince Tian Luo reassured the little thief. Do you think he is trustworthy? Even an idiot would know that we can't meet Ji Zun. Fatty Hai still didn't believe him. If they are not familiar with the Soaring Dragon continent, or if the situation is urgent, then only Ji Zun can make a move. Prince Tian Luo's analysis made everyone's heart sink. If that was really the case, then things would be bad. Something that required Ji Zun to make a move could not be a small matter. It must be related to the Black Hell King. Could it be that the Black Hell King was attacking Yu Yang? This was the messenger that Yu Yang sent back. But why didn't the two women come to the Clan castle? Why did they go to other places to ask for help? Xue Tan Lang and Prince Tian Luo looked at each other. You guys wait here, we will go to the Tian Luo palace. Everyone's heart sank. Could it be that the two women went to the Tian Luo palace to invite the Night Empress? Everyone now hoped that this little thief was a spy, or that he was lying. They didn't want this to be true. Yikong said to Fatty Hai. Fatty, stay here and look after this place. I will go look for teacher and let him make a decision. The teacher that Yikong was talking about was the old fox, Shui Dong Lu. Now that the situation seemed serious, they had to report it to the old fox. Be careful, this might be the enemy's trick. Fatty Hai changed his usual cheeky face. In the sky, 2 silver stars flashed. They streaked across the sky at an extremely fast speed. Before anyone could react, the 2 silver stars had already flashed in front of them. Xue Tan Lang's reaction was the fastest. He gathered a sky full of frost and bombarded the opponent heavily. Even if it couldn't repel the enemy, it could at least give his comrades a buffer. A jade-like hand condensed the sky full of frost-cold qi into a small ice crystal. Xue Tan Lang's powerful palm energy caused the jade-like hand to disappear in an instant. Xue Tan Lang was shocked. Before he could escape, the jade-like hand was already in front of his face. He was so scared that he broke out in cold sweat. This enemy was so strong that he couldn't even take one move. He was finished. You don't even recognize me, you're asking for a beating. The owner of the heavenly voice flicked her finger and sent Xue Tan Lang flying. Sister! Xue Tan Lang was hit and retreated a few steps. He hurriedly stretched out his hands to stop Yikong and Fatty Hai. Then, he excitedly shouted at Xue Wuxia, who was gradually appearing. Sister, why are you back? Beside Xue Wuxia, the war god guard sisters stood on her left and right. Seeing Xue Wuxia appear, everyone's heart was at ease. Now that the most talented Miss Xue had returned to take charge of the situation other than the abnormal third young master, everything would be set in stone. Everyone talked at once, hoping that Xue Wuxia would make a correct judgment. Xue Wuxia waved her jade-like hand lightly, indicating for everyone to quiet down. Then, she said with a clear voice, "It's true." These words caused everyone's hearts to skip a beat. Xue Wuxia pondered for a while. When I returned from training in the 10th floor of Tong Tian Tower and reached the 6th floor of Tong Tian Tower, a girl named Hai Yingwu wrote me a top-secret letter. In the letter, she said that Yu Yang was fighting with the Black Hell King in a very special place. There was also an unknown strong enemy, and she asked us to look for Ji Zun. Because the message that Yu Yang sent to Hai Yingwu could only display 10 words, it wasn't very clear. However, we speculated that Yu Yang was in danger now. When I returned to the 6th floor, Mr. O Zhen from the Warrior Guild also confirmed something. Yu Yang was intercepted by the Black Hell King and Elder Nan Gong rushed over. I don't know why, but they actually went to the 10th floor of Tong Tian Tower with the Southern Goblin King, the sky beyond heaven. Fatty Hai was anxious. What do we do now? Xue Wuxia gestured for everyone to calm down. With your strength, don't even think about the 10th floor of Tong Tian Tower. I reckon that even if I went there, it would be useless. You guys just need to prevent the Black Hell Army from attacking. I have already sent letters to Ji Zun, Night Empress and Sky Law, asking them to make a decision. What we need to do now is to wait for Ji Zun's instructions, because only she can truly resolve Yu Yang's crisis. With Elder Nan Gong around, I think Yu Yang will not have any problems for the time being. We must believe in him. Everyone felt much better after hearing her words. That's right, when had Yu Yang ever disappointed them? The Black Hell King was very strong, but Yu Yang still had Elder Nan Gong by his side. He should be able to hold on until Ji Zun came to his rescue. The problem was, where was he now? The attentive Anna and Lu Yi noticed that Shui Wuxia did not mention the location. They immediately realized that she did not know either and panicked. The two girls understood that it was not a good time to ask, otherwise everyone would be worried. They hurriedly suppressed the panic in their hearts and kept quiet. In the distance, a strange light flashed in the center of the teleportation circle. Wuxia, come quickly. Princess Sisai rushed out of the teleportation circle and pulled Shui Wuxia away. Before she teleported away, she turned around and scolded Yi Kong, Fatty Hai, Shui Tan Lang and Prince of Tian Luo. You guys stay, don't cause trouble for me. You guys go report to the old farts and wait here for news. If the Black Hell Army really comes, then it's your problem. If you don't do it well, I will definitely beat you up when I return. Princess, can these old bones of mine be of any help? The old fox heard the news from somewhere and rushed over. It's none of your business, take care of them. Before Princess Sisai could finish her sentence, she had already teleported away with Shui Wuxia and the War God Guard sisters. Woof! Only Hui Tai Lang chased after them and teleported away. Chapter 523. Death Arena Crystal Passage. Yu Yang felt that things were going a little too smoothly. Although everyone was exhausted after going through 2 waves of battles, the miraculous thing was that other than a small number of ancient warriors who were not fast enough to react and were instantly killed by the ancient slaughterers, none of the participants representing the East, South, West and North were injured. This result surprised not only Yu Yang, but also the others. After killing 20 heaven-ranked ancient slaughterers, they were still able to maintain 0 casualties. Was it because the representatives from the 4 sides were too strong? Or was it because the ancient slaughterers were too weak? Of course, there were many reasons for this result. Firstly, the representatives from Huangquan, Funtian and Yunxing had prepared for hundreds of years and were well prepared. The 9 heaven-ranked rankers were extraordinary. Secondly, the ancient war gods were very powerful. Other than the giant Loli who was concussed by the Black Hell King, the other 3, no matter if it was the 12-winged angel, the tiger-lion-tailed man or the giant skeleton, each of them could take on 2 to 3 ancient slaughterers at once. With them around, it was equivalent to having 1 more guardian divine shield. It was also because of them that the participants from the 4 sides could quickly surround and kill their enemies. Thirdly, a special person like Yu Yang appeared in the lower levels of the Western Heaven Realm. Before this, no one would have thought that there was such an abnormal genius in the world. If not for entering the death arena and forcing Yu Yang to use his full strength, no one, including Elder Nan Gong and the Black Hell King, would have known of Yu Yang's true strength. Yu Yang gathered innate Qi, world-exterminating wheel and nirvana flame. He also had the awakened power of the Card of Fate. With the God-killing dagger, black light and prison emperor divine seal, he was able to influence the direction of the battle to the greatest extent after finding the ancient slaughterer's weak point eyes. In these 2 waves of battle, his role had far surpassed that of the strongest Huang Quan. Not only did he destroy the eyes of all the ancient slaughterers, Yu Yang also refused to help. He killed 2 ancient slaughterer team leaders by himself, and 4 ancient slaughterers. This crazy battle record was unparalleled. After the Black Hell King chose to protect himself, Yu Yang single-handedly propped up the soaring dragon continent which had fallen into decline and could no longer recover its former glory. He even propped up the entire Tong Tian Tower, which represented the lower levels of the Western Heaven Realm. Abnormal potential and super strong strength. This was Huang Quan's evaluation of Yu Yang. Although Yomi had held back during the battle, he knew that even if he had given it his all, he wouldn't have been able to do better than Yu Yang. In order to ensure the safety of his life, as well as to raise his realm and achieve a breakthrough, Yu Yang spared no effort in fighting. Yu Yang tried his best to kill the enemy. Of course, all his battles were carried out by himself. He attacked in secret and did not join hands with anyone else. This way, Huang Quan, Fun Tian, Yun Xing and the Black Hell King wouldn't have the time to peek at Yu Yang's ultimate move. Even if they did, they wouldn't be able to do anything to Yu Yang. Yu Yang had the strength that they didn't dare to provoke. Most importantly, they didn't know that even if they wanted to kill Yu Yang, there were still the immortal beasts like the Qilin girl and the Phoenix sisters around. It was impossible for them to harm Yu Yang. As long as he wasn't killed by the ancient code, Yu Yang wasn't worried about being killed. The ancient code was different. It was too strong and Yu Yang didn't have any confidence. No matter what, he decided to earn enough points first. Elder Nangong, the Southern Demon King and the Emperor of the Underworld helped him secretly. They understood that if they wanted to leave this death arena, Yu Yang was their only hope. Thus, the three of them had been supporting Yu Yang with all their might. They weren't in a hurry to earn points, but to help Yu Yang restrain the enemy, allowing him to kill the ancient slaughterers alone and push him towards the final victory. Rumble! The last ancient slaughterer fell. Rest for 5 minutes. The Southern Demon King was so tired that her fingers couldn't stop trembling. Even restraining the ancient slaughterers was exhausting. After all, the difference in strength between her and the ancient slaughterers was too great. If it wasn't for Yu Yang's support and Elder Nangong's protection, she wouldn't have been able to hold on and would have been killed by the ancient slaughterer team leader. Everyone come over, I'll help everyone. Elder Nangong summoned a rain of light, making the exhausted Yu Yang feel refreshed. Other than the barbarian cow Shadow Aman, who never tired, even the golden-crowned thorny flower queen looked tired. The bloody queen Red impatiently leaned on Yu Yang's shoulder and fell into a deep sleep. Little Wen Li, Stone Element Medusa and the others guarded the surroundings vigilantly. As long as the Black Hell King wasn't dead, they would never be able to rest easy. Moreover, even if the Black Hell King was dead, there were still Huang Quan and the others. Compared to them, Yu Yang's strength was still slightly lacking. The only advantage he had was that Yu Yang had grasped the secret of points, while Huang Quan and the others were still clueless about it. Before obtaining the final victory and safely leaving the death arena, Little Wen Li and the others wouldn't relax. Something's wrong, the Black Hell King's performance is too normal. Yu Yang's words were directed at the Emperor of the Underworld. He hoped that the Emperor of the Underworld would go and check on the Black Hell King. Take a good rest first. The Emperor of the Underworld also knew that he was the only one who had strength left. The dozen foreign innates and the few human innates were too weak. War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North were the Black Hell King's men, while the Sky Emperor was in cahoots with the Black Hell King, so he couldn't be relied on. The Emperor of the Underworld quickly left to observe the battlefield from afar. He brought back a piece of news. They have also ended their battle. The strange thing is, the Black Hell King seems to be heavily injured. Yu Yang's heart skipped a beat. That's impossible. Other than the Black Hell King's holy ranked weapons and extremely strong defense, his true strength had reached heaven-ranked level 2, just below Huang Quan. How could he be heavily injured? Yu Yang could conclude that there was definitely something wrong with the Black Hell King. However, he still couldn't figure out the meaning behind the Black Hell King's injury. The Emperor of the Underworld said that he was injured, so he definitely wouldn't be wrong. The Black Hell King wouldn't fake an injury in front of Huang Quan and the others. If he was really injured, then the problem would be even more confusing. What good would it do for the Black Hell King if he was injured? There were no benefits at all, and it would be easy for Huang Quan and the others to abandon him. However, the smart and cunning Black Hell King would rather be injured than use his hidden strength. What was he trying to do? We have to be careful, this guy might be about to make a move. Yu Yang felt that something was wrong. The Black Hell King was playing tricks, and he had yet to see through his trick. This time, we won't be the first to attack. Let's observe first. The Southern Demon King was also very worried. Yu Yang was already exhausted. Elder Nan Gong and the Emperor of the Underworld combined might not even be a match for the Black Hell King. Moreover, the Black Hell King had the help of the Sky Emperor, War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North. If that's the case, I'll fight the Black Hell King. The Emperor of the Underworld didn't believe that the Black Hell King would dare to attack them in front of a great enemy, unless he was tired of living. Very quickly, the battle started again. The third wave of ancient slaughterers descended, and a new round of battle broke out. Only by continuing to fight and killing all the ancient slaughterers in front of them would the participants have 3 days of rest. Even though Huang Quan, Fun Tian and the others were already panting from exhaustion, they still gritted their teeth and persevered. This was a battle to the death where only victory was allowed, and no one was an exception. Third young master, I'll give you another 5 minutes to rest. Huang Quan specially came over to remind Yu Yang to rest. This was because Yu Yang was the key to victory. Without him blinding all the ancient slaughterers, everyone's battle time would be extended by more than 10 times, and they might not even be able to maintain 0 casualties. Without the concealment ability and disguise inherent skill, even Huang Quan wouldn't be able to hide under the eyes of the ancient slaughterers. This is bad. Yu Yang was about to reply, but he suddenly had a bad feeling. This was the second time Huang Quan came over. The previous time, he also specially came over to let Yu Yang have a good rest. He even brought a blood god pill, which was unique to the Eastern Heaven realm. Yu Yang didn't dare to eat the blood god pill recklessly, but he still appreciated Huang Quan's good intentions. With his Heaven Eyes divine vision, he could see that this blood god pill was a high-quality pill that could bring the dead back to life. This time, Huang Quan came again, and gave Yu Yang another blood god pill. There was nothing wrong with Huang Quan's actions, but Yu Yang thought of something else. He immediately jumped up. "Oh no, you shouldn't have left, go back quickly." Huang Quan was startled, but he immediately flew back. Even if they were future enemies, Huang Quan was willing to believe in Yu Yang's words. Although he didn't understand, Huang Quan could tell that Yu Yang wasn't joking. He immediately realized the severity of the situation and returned at lightning speed. Central Plaza. The heavily injured Black Hell King was the first to face the enemy. Maybe he wanted to prove his strength, or maybe he was angered by his carelessness. Black Hell King unleashed the terrifying power of a heaven-ranked level 2 and attacked before everyone else. The domain of darkness rose up and covered the sky and half of the central square. Even Fun Tian from the Fire Clan and Yun Xing from the Gold Clan stayed away from the Black Hell King to avoid being affected by the strange dark domain. Countless images of swords, monsters and humans appeared and gathered beside the Black Hell King. The 10 ancient slaughterers were blinded, they couldn't find the Black Hell King in the dark domain. They attacked randomly. The crowd didn't understand. Did the Black Hell King want the ancient slaughterers to kill each other in the dark domain? Did he want to kill the enemy alone like Yu Clan's third young master? Everyone attack quickly, I can only freeze them for a minute, hurry! The Black Hell King roared like thunder. Alright. Fun Tian, Yun Xing and the rest were overjoyed. What did it mean to be able to freeze the enemy for a minute? If the enemy didn't retaliate and just took a beating, no matter how strong their defense was, they would all be heavily injured. Not only Fun Tian, Yun Xing and the other heaven-ranked rankers, even the innate rankers who were helping from afar also swarmed over. They used their strongest power to attack the ancient slaughterers that were standing still. At a time like this, any bit of strength would be useful. However, no one thought of this. If the Black Hell King had such a strong dark domain power, why didn't he use it before? Why didn't he wait for Huang Quan and Yu Yang, third young master, to come before using it? Yu Yang and Huang Quan had not arrived yet. Something strange happened. The ancient slaughterers that were standing still in the dark domain all disappeared without a trace. The dark domain changed into a different scene. The 10 ancient slaughterers were not frozen at all. Instead, they were waiting in the darkness, waiting for an opportunity to attack. Fan Tian, Yun Xing and the rest of the heaven-ranked rankers realized that something was wrong. They could barely escape from the dark domain. However, the foreign innate rankers who lost their targets after entering were all exposed to the 10 ancient slaughterers. What was worse was that when they were preparing to retreat, their allies in the dark domain, those images forcefully dragged their bodies back. Almost all the foreign innates were instantly killed by the 10 ancient slaughterers. No one dared to rush into the dark domain to save their trapped companions. The ancient slaughterer captain led his 9 subordinates and crazily slaughtered all the foreign innate. They all let out a bloodthirsty roar that was deafening. Fan Tian, Yun Xing and the rest were so angry that their eyes almost popped out. However, there was nothing they could do. They could only watch as their companions were torn into pieces. There were only 9 surviving foreign innates, and all of them were healers. Almost all of them were wiped out in this battle. What was more terrifying was that more than 10 pillars of light suddenly shot down from the central plaza. More than 10 ancient slaughterers that were added as punishment for the deaths of the participants were shot down at the same time. Ha 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 ha! The Black Hell King laughed crazily. He pointed at Yu Yang and Huang Quan who had just arrived. You want to fight me with just a few brats like you? You're still too inexperienced. Do you know what my inherent skill is? Do you really think I'm afraid? I'm just waiting for an opportunity. All of you can die. Not to mention you, even the invincible prison emperor died under my schemes. Who do you think you are? Chapter 524. Yu Yang suddenly felt relaxed. The Black Hell King had finally revealed his true colors. Although the Black Hell King's attack had put the situation in a difficult position. However, Yu Yang felt that it was better for the Black Hell King to make his move earlier. At least he wouldn't have to be on tenterhooks to guard against his plots in the future. Unlike Yu Yang, Huang Quan, Fan Tian, Yun Xing and the others were shocked by the Black Hell King's move. Why did the Black Hell King do this? He was also one of the participants in the death arena. What benefits would he get from doing this? Black Hell King, are you crazy? The Burning Man Fan Tian was furious. He never thought that the Black Hell King would be so vicious. Damn it! Three-Eyed Tiger Man and the Light Man also glared at the Black Hell King. Yu Clan's third young master might be clearer about what kind of person I, Black Prison, am. I was born to be a traitor. Not to mention you, even the invincible prison emperor 6,000 years ago fell under my schemes. You still want to threaten me? You guys overestimate yourselves. The Black Hell King sneered in disdain. I have seen many young geniuses, but no matter how talented or powerful they are not my enemies. This is because I have the unique, betrayal, inherent skill. The stronger you guys are, the more miserable your deaths will be. Don't forget, you are also a participant. Once we fail, you will also be killed by the ancient code. Wang Jin trembled in anger. Is that so? The Black Hell King asked coldly. He pressed his hands down. 2 short gnome servants appeared on the left and right sides of his body. The 2 dwarf servants immediately knelt down respectfully at the feet of the Black Hell King. Under everyone's gaze, the 2 dwarf servants pulled out the daggers at their waists and slit their throats without hesitation. They couldn't stop breathing for a while. Before they died, they struggled in extreme pain as they looked at the Black Hell King. The Black Hell King raised his leg mercilessly and stomped the heads and bodies of the 2 loyal dwarf servants into mush. He stomped heavily. Blood splattered everywhere. I, Black Hell, do not need the loyalty of servants. After the Black Hell King finished speaking, the black light of the holy armor on his body darkened. His hands pressed down again, and a beautiful young woman holding a baby in her arms appeared. The beautiful woman's body trembled as she begged the Black Hell King with tears streaming down her face. "My king, if you want the blood of your loved ones, please let me replace the little prince, I beg you." The tears of a lover. The Black Hell King reached out his hand and gently wiped away the tear stains on the beautiful woman's face. Then, he reached out with lightning speed and broke the beautiful woman's neck. He then lifted the baby up high and threw him down heavily, turning him into a pile of meat paste. I, the Black Hell King, don't need the blood of my relatives. Everyone was stunned. Including Yu Yang, no one expected the Black Hell King to do this. How was this like a person? He was worse than a beast. Hades, whose eyes had been closed all this time, was now wide open in shock. His golden eyes were filled with astonishment. After killing his servants, concubines, and even his son, the Black Hell King's entire body emitted a dense black light. It was extremely evil, and a terrifying energy accompanied by the dark domain enveloped the entire area. When the Black Hell King raised his hand for the 3rd time, everyone was frightened by this perverted fellow. They couldn't help but retreat a few meters. Wang Jin's teeth were chattering in fear. He knew that he wasn't a good person, but no matter what, he couldn't be as heartless as the Black Hell King. The protection of beasts and the alliance of teammates. I, the Black Hell King, don't need these boring things. The Black Hell King pulled out the dark sacred sword and slashed his neck. Black blood spurted out from his neck. However, the Black Hell King's life wasn't in any danger. On the other hand, the heaven-swallowing demon tiger that was being healed at the East Crystal Plaza let out a sorrowful roar as its body rapidly changed shape and expanded. With lightning speed, it self-destructed. Boom! With a loud sound, the 9 foreign innates that were healing it exploded into pieces of flesh and blood before they could figure out what was happening at the plaza. Now everyone understood why the Black Hell King was willing to risk his life to injure the heaven-swallowing demon tiger. It was to find an excuse to leave the heaven-swallowing demon tiger behind to self-destruct. More black light appeared on the Black Hell King's body like ink. In the end, it formed a substitute that looked exactly like the Black Hell King. The Black Hell King sprinkled fresh blood on the substitute's face and muttered. A bolt of golden lightning flashed down from the extremely high dome, easily blasting the substitute into nothingness, completely turning it into ashes and disappearing. What was unimaginable was that this lightning with the power of the ancient code only killed the substitute. It had no effect on the Black Hell King's real body, which was right next to it. The Black Hell King was unharmed. In Yu Yang's mind, the thought wave appeared. Your teammates have betrayed your team. More than 50 participants died in the death arena. Additional death penalty. 4 ancient slaughterer commanders and 1 ancient slaughterer beast king. Under the observation of Yu Yang's Heaven Eyes divine vision, he realized that the Black Hell King's aura was already the same as the ancient slaughterer. Perhaps there was a slight difference, but without a doubt the Black Hell King's current camp had already betrayed the soaring dragon continent to the ancient slaughterer's side. He used the betrayal, inherent skill, and the strange black blood substitute to not only escape the obliteration of the ancient code, he had also successfully switched to the ancient slaughterer's camp and officially became everyone's target. If he succeeded, he would be the final winner of this death arena. He might even obtain the divine equipment. Oh my God! Southern Demon King finally understood why the prison emperor was killed by the Black Hell King. The reason was that the betrayal inherent skill was too vicious. Huang Quan, what should we do? Fan Tian was extremely anxious. He hoped that Huang Quan would quickly come up with an idea. In the sky, another 14 light pillars were cast down. Actually, 5 of them were especially huge. They were obviously from the ancient Slaughterer commanders and the ancient Slaughterer Beast King. Yu Yang still did not know how many people were in the Black Hell King's grimoire world. He guessed that the people that the Black Hell King brought along in the grimoire world were counted as participants. This was because the loyal servants, concubines and sons that the Black Hell King killed, even the Black Blood substitute, were all counted as participants in the death arena. Not a single one was missing. If there were still people in the Black Hell King's grimoire world, and he continued to kill like this, then the death penalty would increase, and they would become more and more powerful. The Ancient Slaughterer was a heaven-ranked level 1 existence, the Ancient Slaughterer Captain was a heaven-ranked level 2. Then what level were the Ancient Slaughterer Commanders and the Ancient Slaughterer Beast King? All the Ancient Slaughterers lowered their hands respectfully and bowed to welcome the arrival of the Ancient Slaughterer Beast King, including the 4 Ancient Slaughterer Commanders who appeared first. Among the 4 Ancient Slaughterer Commanders, one was dark green with countless strange stripes on its body, one had blue skin and extremely long claws, one had blood-red eyes and was burning with raging flames, and the last one had a sturdy body like a rock. Their strength had reached heaven-ranked level 3. Compared to the strongest Huang Quan, they were not inferior at all. As for the last Ancient Slaughterer Beast King, it was twice the size of a normal Ancient Slaughterer, and had golden skin and fur. Its strength had reached heaven-ranked level 5. Not to mention anything else, just it alone was enough to instantly kill all the participants. This Ancient Slaughterer Beast King was an undefeatable existence. It was so powerful that it made people feel hopeless. When it appeared, the calmest Huang Quan's expression changed. He shouted towards the Burning Man Fantian and Yun Xing, "Bring the ancient guardian beast away immediately, we need to avoid it for now." He appeared in front of the Eastern Heaven Realm's ancient guardian beast 12-winged angel in a flash and lured the 50-meter-tall 12-winged angel into his grimoire world to prevent it from being killed by the ancient Slaughterer Beast King. The Burning Man Fantian and Yun Xing also rushed towards the Tiger-Head Lion Man and the Giant Skeleton. But the Black Hell King laughed coldly. The dark sacred sword was filled with sword chi as it slashed towards the Burning Man Fantian, intercepting him. The Metal Man Yun Xing took the risk to save the Tiger-Head Lion Man into the grimoire world before the other 4 ancient Slaughterer commanders. However, the Giant Skeleton was not so lucky. Three-Eyed Tiger Man and Wang Jin's reactions were not slow, but their speed was much slower than the ancient Slaughterer Beast King. The Giant Skeleton did not even have the strength to resist and was instantly smashed to the ground by the ancient Slaughterer Beast King. With just one heavy claw, the Giant Skeleton's originally undamaged skeleton was immediately shattered and broken. A large part of its sternum collapsed. Under the ancient Slaughterer Beast King's heavy attack, the Giant Skeleton's body was as weak as a scarecrow. The piercingly cold shockwave directly sent Three-Eyed Tiger Man and Wang Jin, who were preparing to go forward to help, flying. "Let's go, everyone go to the Eastern Crystal Plaza first and enter my grimoire world to discuss matters." Huang Quan flew to repel the Black Hell King, allowing Three-Eyed Tiger Man and Wang Jin to escape. Huang Quan thought of something and warned Yu Yang, "Third young master, hurry back and save them. I will look for you later." "Alright." Yu Yang rode on the fire phoenix formed by Nirvana Flame and forced the ancient slaughterers to retreat. He pulled the Southern Demon King and retreated quickly. With the arrival of the ancient Slaughterer Beast King, this battle could not be fought like before. It would be fine if the Black Hell King did not cause trouble. However, the Black Hell King had changed sides, so he would be able to see through whatever methods they used. Before thinking of a way to kill the Black Hell King, Yu Yang would definitely not fight recklessly. The Black Hell King hated Yu Yang the most. He waved his cloud-collapsing thunder hammer and dark sacred sword and chased after Yu Yang proudly. Third young master, why are you running away like a stray dog? Don't you want to take revenge for the prison emperor? Now I will give you a chance. Yu Yang looked down on him. Without the ancient slaughterer beast king, how dare you chase after him? In reality, even if the Black Hell King chased after him, he did not dare to get too close. He only used his sword chi and lightning to interfere. The fire phoenix formed by Nirvana flame made him extremely fearful. He had a body of sacred armor, so he was not afraid of Yu Yang's attacks. However, this purifying Nirvana flame was his nemesis. Scram, scram your grandma! When Yu Yang saw that the ancient slaughterer beast king was still breaking the bones of the giant skeleton while the 4 ancient slaughterer commanders chased after Huang Quan, he relaxed a little. Luckily, these fellows were a little afraid of his Nirvana flame. He controlled the fire phoenix formed by Nirvana flame to force the Black Hell King to retreat. Along the way, he summoned Bloody Queen Red, Barbarian Cow Shadow Aman, Golden Crown Thorny Flower Queen Duo and the others. With Little One Li by his side, the Black Hell King did not dare to fight Yu Yang head-on. He was also afraid that he would be at a disadvantage under Little One Li's binding chain's inherent skill, so he only used his sword chi to attack from afar. However, this kind of long-distance attack did not have much effect on Yu Yang. We are here to gather the ancient warriors. Elder Nangong saw that the situation was collapsing. Other than inviting the innate rankers into the grimoire world, he also gathered the ancient warriors together with the Emperor of the Underworld. Damn it! The Sky Emperor originally wanted to rely on the Black Hell King, but he was afraid that he would be killed by the ancient code. This was because the Black Hell King was no longer on the same side, and had become an enemy. After exchanging glances with War Tiger of the East and Fierce Tooth of the North, they went back into the grimoire world pathetically. When Yu Yang saw that there were a dozen female ancient guards still healing the giant lowly, he quickly invited them all into his grimoire world. Little One Li was also summoning the stone element Medusa and the other girls, temporarily not fighting the Black Hell King head-on. Without the control of their minds, the vast ocean of ice water in the crystal passageway collapsed in an instant. It flowed in all directions. Different from Yu Yang's side where the Black Hell King was fighting alone, Huang Quan and Fun Tian's side had become a bloody slaughterhouse. Not only were their comrades below heaven rank dead, those ancient guards were also killed by dozens of ancient slaughterers. Only a few lucky ones were saved by Huang Quan and the rest. Central Plaza. The ancient slaughterer beast king was mercilessly killing the giant skeleton. It tore apart the giant skeleton's bones, raised its long spine and smashed it randomly. It then broke its leg and arm bones one by one. In the end, it even used the hardest giant skeleton's skull to smash it on the ground. The giant skeleton's soul fire dimmed quickly, and its death was imminent. 4 ancient slaughterer commanders brought along dozens of subordinates and chased after Huang Quan and Fun Tian. There were also a few ancient slaughterer captains who rushed over to support the Black Hell King, who was forced to run around by the fire phoenix formed by Nirvana flame. However, it was impossible for them to go around the Black Hell King. Even if the fire phoenix was not controlled by Yu Yang, it still had a certain level of consciousness to automatically disperse the enemies. After all, it was given to Yu Yang by the Phoenix Sisters to protect him. Even if it was not a living being, it still had their consciousness. Because there were many enemies, Yu Yang could only control the Fire Phoenix to force the enemies to retreat in the Crystal Passage. He could not chase after them until he forcefully brought the giant lowly into the grimoire world. He could not even meet up with Elder Nangong and the Emperor of the Underworld. Yu Yang immediately rode on the Fire Phoenix and rushed to the Central Plaza under the Black Hell King's futile attack. Elder Nangong and the Emperor of the Underworld immediately returned to the grimoire world, temporarily avoiding the enemies. The ancient Slaughterer Beast King was very angry with Yu Yang's arrival. It roared at Yu Yang, intending to intimidate this insignificant human boy. Its roar was deafening. "What the hell are you roaring for? Come and play with fire if you dare." Yu Yang forcefully landed under the pincer attack of the Black Hell King and the ancient Slaughterer Beast King. He forcefully snatched the broken giant's skull and kept it in his storage ring. Finally, he calmly flew away from the scene. The ancient Slaughterer Beast King was so angry that it almost exploded in anger. It spat out flames from its mouth. However, it was useless against Yu Yang, who was riding on the Fire Phoenix. The difference in speed was too great. "Third young master, you won't be able to hold on for long." The Black Hell King hated Yu Yang's act of snatching food from the tiger's mouth, but he could do nothing about it. However, the Black Hell King was still very confident. No matter how arrogant Yu Yang was, he did not have the betrayal inherent skill. Before the time limit of the death arena was up, he would not be able to defeat the ancient Slaughterer Beast King and the 4 great commanders. As for Huang Quan, Fun Tian and Yun Xing, 6 ancient slaughterer team leaders and 54 ancient slaughterers could beat them into minced meat. What made the Black Hell King feel more at ease was that every 3 days, there would be another 3 ancient slaughterer team leaders and 27 ancient slaughterers joining in. The strength of the pursuers would only get stronger, and the chances of Yu Yang and Huang Quan winning would become slimmer and slimmer. No matter how talented they were, they could only die in despair. The Black Hell King laughed sinisterly. He laughed complacently. Yu Yang was very unhappy seeing this. He gave the Black Hell King a disdainful middle finger. "Don't be stupid, the one who laughs last is the winner. Let's see who can laugh last." Chapter 525. Just as Yu Yang was about to return to the Grimoire world, a mysterious message appeared again. "New party member has joined." Yu Yang was stunned. What was going on? A golden pillar of light was shot down from the center of the Crystal Plaza. The Black Hell King seemed to have realized something. He raised his cloud-collapsing thunder hammer and dark sacred sword and attacked the slender figure that appeared from the pillar of light. How could Yu Yang let the Black Hell King have his way? He rode on the Fire Phoenix and moved at a speed that was 100 times faster than lightning. He bypassed the Black Hell King's sword chi attack and hugged the slender figure in his arms, bringing her away from the attack range. "It's you? Sky Law Girl, why did you come here for no reason? It's very dangerous here." Yu Yang knew who it was the moment he hugged her. He was both happy and worried at the same time. He was happy because impatience had come and he no longer had to fight alone. He was worried because the situation was bad. Even if she joined, it would be difficult to turn the situation around. No matter what, it was a good thing that impatience could come. If she could come, it meant that Ji Zun could come too. If Ji Zun and Night Empress came, the 3 girls would be able to kill the ancient Slaughterer Beast King, let alone the Black Hell King. The only problem was that Shui Wuxia and Princess Sisai might come too. This was bad, if he did not have enough points. Yu Yang shuddered. He really wanted to use the 3 colors map to send a message to Hai Yingwu, but it was not yet a day's time, so he could only worry. Yu Yang saw that there were no more pillars of light. It seemed that only impatience had come. He felt slightly relieved. "I heard that you were kidnapped by the Black Hell King, so of course I rushed over. I don't want to be a widow who hasn't left her room yet." Impatience giggled. She hugged Yu Yang and kissed Yu Yang's cheeks to show how much she missed him. She then looked around and asked curiously, "Where is this death arena?" Yu Yang did not care about being intimate with her, and quickly rode on the Fire Phoenix to a higher place. "It sounds really scary," Phoenix Fairy Beauty said with an indifferent expression. "Do you see those giant monsters? You have to kill at least 15 of them by yourself. Otherwise, if you don't have enough points, you will be erased by the ancient code." Yu Yang tried his best to explain as concisely as possible. Only then did Impatience notice the existence of the ancient slaughterers. She exclaimed in shock, All of them are innate Elder Level 1? No, they don't seem to have any intelligence. They're not holy beasts. Strange, where did these monsters come from? They were sent down from the Heaven Realm. In the Heaven Realm, they are called Heaven-ranked Level 1. These fellows are very strong, but they are not very intelligent. They did not transform into humans and are not holy beasts. They can't even fly, but they have thick skin and flesh. It is very difficult to kill one of them. Yu Yang secretly rejoiced. Luckily the ancient slaughterers could not fly, or else the chances of winning would be even slimmer. What made Yu Yang puzzled was that these ancient slaughterers did not know how to fly. According to human standards, a level 6 elder would be able to fly a short distance. Humans with the strength of a lesser inborn could easily fly. They could even fly for a long distance. Innate rankers with the strength of innate level 3 and above could fly as easily as eating cabbages. They could definitely use it in battle. Innate rankers with the strength of innate level 8 and above could fly or rest in the air for a long period of time. They were even more accustomed to the sky than birds. They could almost live in the sky without touching the ground. They could do whatever they wanted and were unrestrained. Yu Yang felt that it was unbelievable for the ancient slaughterers to be in such a situation. Even though they were heaven-ranked creatures, they did not know how to fly. Fortunately, this was the case. If they could fly, Huang Quan, Fen Tian, Yun Xing and Wang Jin would probably be in deep trouble. Impatience frowned when she saw the ancient slaughterer team leader. There's a heaven-ranked level 2 monster leader? Girl, this is already considered weak. This is only the monster leader. Opposite us, there are still 4 heaven-ranked level 3 commanders and a heaven-ranked level 5 beast king. Yu Yang rode on the fire phoenix and flew to the highest point. He decided not to tangle with the Black Hell King any longer. He decided to go back to the Grimoire world and discuss with Skylaw first. This is a little troublesome. Impatience's face turned solemn. Heaven-ranked level 5 was not something she could fight against. So it's Skylaw. Black Hell King recognized Impatience. His face did not look good. If it was the previous Impatience, the Black Hell King would not have cared. Because the previous Skylaw was innate level 9. Even if she was at the peak of innate level 9, he would not be able to kill her instantly. However, the current Skylaw had obviously exceeded the Black Hell King's expectations. Although most of Impatience's strength was still hidden, the threat she emitted when she glared at him was felt by the Black Hell King, who was also a heaven-ranked ranker. That's right, she was also a heaven-ranked ranker. She might not be as strong as him, but he must not be careless. Compared to Skylaw, the Black Hell King would rather fight the 2 heaven-ranked rankers, Wang Jin and Three-Eyed Tiger Man alone than fight against her alone. Although he had not fought against Sky Execution, Sky Dispatch and Skylaw before, the Black Hell King was very afraid of the existence of the demonic palace. He suspected that the demonic palace had obtained some ancient scrolls or treasures from the god's ruins. Otherwise, the demonic palace's Sky Execution would not be so strong. According to reliable information, Sky Execution had once looked down on the Sky Emperor during a conflict when they were hunting for treasures, and even forced the arrogant Sky Emperor to retreat with one move. If it wasn't for the fact that Sky Execution was extremely patient and had no intention of becoming famous, the Sky Emperor might have been defeated on the spot. After receiving this information, the Black Hell King suspected that Sky Execution had already surpassed the 3 emperors and was chasing after the Dragon Emperor and Ji Zun. He might even have reached the realm of a heaven-ranked ranker. Today, after seeing Skylaw, who was ranked just below Sky Execution, the Black Hell King realized that he had underestimated the demonic palace. Luckily Sky Execution and Ji Zun did not come. Otherwise the situation would have been tilted. What's wrong with this guy? Impatience was shocked when she found out that the Black Hell King was actually in the same camp as the ancient slaughterers. Betrayal inherent skill. She immediately understood after hearing what Yu Yang said. It's not enough to just have the betrayal inherent skill. He should at least have the automatic resurrection inherent skill. Impatience smiled, but her eyes were filled with murderous intent. She believed that with her abilities and Yu Yang's, it was very possible to kill the Black Hell King in this sealed environment. Let's return to the Grimoire world. Yu Yang did not think that the Black Hell King was a follower of Brother Chun. Even if he died, he could still resurrect on the spot with full health. However, killing him was not something that could be done in a short period of time. After all, the Black Hell King still had dozens of ancient slaughterers as his teammate. With the Black Hell King's craftiness, it would be hard to get rid of this traitor from 6,000 years ago if he did not think of a good idea. At the same time, Yu Yang's words were also a form of inquiry. If there were more people coming in later, Impatience would definitely hint that if she was the only one who came, she would agree to this suggestion. Wait a little longer, there are still a few people coming. They will be here soon. Let's play with this traitor first. Impatience's alluring face revealed a smile. Humph! A chill rose in the Black Hell King's heart. He would definitely not let the other party gang up on him. No matter if it was Ji Zun, Night Empress or Sky Execution, they were not to be trifled with. As long as there were two heaven-ranked innates working together to attack him, in addition to Yu Yang's world-exterminating wheel and Nirvana flame, he would be in a very dangerous situation. When the Black Hell King heard that there were more people coming from behind, he immediately retreated back to the group of ancient slaughterers. He did not want his face. He wanted the final victory and the final reward of the divine equipment. Impatience raised both of her hands and condensed a huge thunderball. She did not compress the thunderball like other heaven-ranked innates, nor did she throw the thunderball to attack an enemy. Instead, she used a very special method. She forcefully tore the thunderball apart and let it scatter into the sky, forming streaks of lightning. When the Black Hell King saw this, his pupils immediately contracted. The lightning that tore apart the sky did not disappear. Instead, under Impatience's will, it exploded into a lightning storm with the power of judgment. It expanded a few times, tens of times, hundreds of times. In the end, the entire Crystal Plaza became a tornado made of lightning. Thousands of lightning caused Impatience to twist into a spiral shape, interweaving into a huge lightning tornado. Forget about the lightning tornado, even the lightning that roamed outside could instantly kill an innate ranker below innate level 9. The Black Hell King felt that this lightning with the power of judgment was the same as the world-exterminating wheel and Nirvana flame. They were all his nemesis. If it hit him, the consequences would be unimaginable. Escape. The Black Hell King did not think at all, nor did he pause for even a second. In an instant, he was teleported. He escaped far away from the protection of the ancient slaughterers. At the same time, the bloodthirsty and battle-hungry ancient slaughterers also escaped. They did not dare to face Impatience's Sky Law head-on. But it was too late. If they had escaped when Impatience condensed the thunderball, they might have been able to escape. Now that the lightning tornado was formed, under Impatience's mind control, none of the ancient slaughterers could escape from the power of Sky Law's judgment. Different from Yu Yang's card of Fate's rule power, Sky Law's judgment was not in the form of a human, but in the form of lightning. It could be said that this was a mind storm cast by Impatience. The power of the card of Fate's rule power was released in the form of lightning. The rumbling thunder and lightning began to bombard the area from the start of the first strike to the end of the judgment. It took 5 minutes. All the ancient slaughterers were charred and fell to the ground. None of them were spared. But they were after all heaven-ranked level 1 creatures with extremely sturdy bodies. Their extremely tenacious vitality allowed most of them to survive Sky Law's judgment. Only the 2 ancient slaughterers who suffered the most serious injuries were on the verge of death, unable to get up again. Impatience's one move almost killed more than 10 ancient slaughterers. This result not only shocked the Black Hell King so much that his heart almost exploded, even Yu Yang was dumbfounded. What was certain was that Impatience had improved again. Her improvement was so great that it exceeded Yu Yang's expectations. The power of Sky Law previously was definitely not this strong. Could it be that Night Empress or Ji Zun gave her some pointers that allowed her to completely understand the power of Sky Law's rule? Yu Yang was puzzled. At the same time, he had a huge question. If Ji Zun was the one who gave Impatience pointers, then what realm had Ji Zun reached? Her sister could improve so much just by giving her some pointers. What would happen if she gave her all and taught her? Sky Law could improve so much just by giving her some pointers. What about Shui Wuxia? Yu Yang was suddenly looking forward to Ji Zun's appearance. This girl was really too mysterious. You're awesome. Yu Yang gave Impatience a thumbs up without hesitation. She defeated so many ancient slaughterers in one move, and almost killed 2 of them in an instant. If the strongest Huang Quan saw this result, he would probably feel ashamed. It's nothing. Impatience smiled sweetly at Yu Yang. She threw herself into Yu Yang's arms and kissed him with her fiery lips, completely ignoring the existence of the Black Hell King. The Charm Demon Queen appeared. The ancient slaughterers that had just crawled up went berserk under her will and started killing each other. If it wasn't for the Black Hell King's thunderous roar that woke them up, they would probably all die from the Charm Demon Queen's enchantment. More than 10 ancient slaughterers roared at the Charm Demon Queen in anger. Under the lead of their leader, they retreated unwillingly. The clever Charm Demon Queen didn't chase after them. She only stared at the 2 dying ancient slaughterers with her beautiful eyes. In less than a minute, the ancient slaughterer on the left, who was the most heavily injured, died with its head exploding. Its huge eyes and brain matter caused the Charm Demon Queen's mental power to explode. The Black Hell King's hands trembled slightly. Only now did he realize what kind of opponent he was facing. However, he was still proud and not discouraged. Because he was the Black Hell King, a man who could successfully murder the invincible prison emperor 6,000 years ago. He turned around and left, as if he had a new plot. He was prepared to fight back against the alliance between Yu Yang and Impatience. Chapter 526. Seeing that the Charm Demon Queen killed the 2 dying ancient slaughterers, the points of the 2 ancient slaughterers went to Impatience. Yu Yang then went forward and used the god-killing dagger to dig out the black crystals in their skulls. He then used Nirvana Flame to refine them into fist-sized dark golden crystals. Impatience frowned. These monsters are really thick-skinned. I thought I could kill at least 5 or 6 of them, but I only managed to kill 2 and they are still alive. Just now, when she used her mind to control Sky Law, she wanted to use a large area attack. But she realized that Sky Law's power was not enough to kill all of the ancient slaughterers. She changed her focus midway, and used Sky Law Lightning on the 2 ancient slaughterers that were heavily injured. Even so, the Charm Demon Queen still had to come out to deal the final blow. This made Impatience secretly shocked. But Yu Yang felt that this was already very good. Yu Yang knew how hard it was to fight the ancient slaughterers. Even Huang Quan, Fun Tian and the other heaven-ranked innates needed 10 minutes to take them down. One could only imagine how strong the ancient slaughterers were. Just the power of Phoenix Fairy Beauty's Sky Law was enough to kill 2 of them. Yu Yang was overjoyed that Sky Law's power had reached such a level. Phoenix Fairy Beauty's mind control was also a huge improvement compared to before. She was able to quickly change her mind and control it freely. If not for Sky Law's strong appearance, would the Black Hell King be scared off so easily? Yu Yang kept the dark golden crystals and looked at the crystal plaza. Girl, no one else came in from behind, right? Hee, if I didn't trick you, how would I be able to trick that cunning dog, the Black Hell King? Impatience smiled sweetly at Yu Yang. Phew, thank goodness. Yu Yang was not happy that the Black Hell King was scared off, but that the fewer people that came in the death arena, the better. Sky Law has already become Elder Innate? With a flash of light, the Emperor of the Underworld and Elder Nangong came out from the grimoire world. When they saw Impatience's realm, they were all shocked. Originally, Impatience was inferior to them. Now, she had far surpassed them. It was truly unbelievable. Among them, Elder Nangong looked at Yu Yang and realized that the relationship between the Impatiens and Yu Yang was very intimate, as if they were lovers. He immediately guessed that it was Yu Yang who had assisted Tian Fa in advancing to the supremacy stage, and he couldn't help but feel even more shocked. The Emperor of the Underworld's reaction was not slow either. Other than bowing to the Impatiens, he sighed deeply at the same time. Congratulations, Tianfa, for becoming a supreme martial artist. You have finally achieved your 1,000-year dream. Now that I think about it, I'm ashamed that our progress has been so slow, and we haven't been able to make any progress in the past 100 years. Sky Law returned the greeting and said with a smile, "The Emperor of the Netherworld is only a step away from the supreme martial artist realm. After this battle, he will definitely improve. There is no need to envy Sky Law." The Emperor of the Underworld looked at Yu Yang, as if he wanted to get confirmation from Yu Yang. Yu Yang was overjoyed. It seemed like the supreme martial artist realm was really a warrior's dream. Even a rancor like the Emperor of the Underworld couldn't avoid it. He nodded in affirmation. "Emperor of the Underworld, if there is a good opportunity, you can try to kill an ancient slaughterer alone. I believe the supreme martial artist realm is just around the corner." Yu Yang threw a refined dark golden crystal to the Emperor of the Underworld. "Let's not talk about anything else. We will definitely win this battle. With this gift, I congratulate the Emperor of the Underworld for advancing to the supreme martial artist realm in the future." "Are you serious? Then Yu Ming will thank Third Young Master in advance." The Emperor of the Underworld knew that Yu Yang's action was to rope him in, but he felt more at ease. Now that the Black Hell King had betrayed them, there were many strong enemies. The situation was extremely dangerous. Not only did Yu Yang defeat the enemy's attack with his own strength, he even took out his sincerity to appease everyone. He even gave them this incomparably precious dark golden crystal to help him level up to Elder Innate. With such a gesture of goodwill, if he still couldn't understand it, then he would be an idiot. This Yu clan's third young master's future was limitless. The new prison emperor of Tong Tian Tower would definitely be this Yu clan's third young master. The Emperor of the Underworld knew that his talent, potential and personality were not enough to become the overlord of Tong Tian Tower. He was not a genius. Instead of having a useless competition, it would be better to form an alliance with him. In addition to Yu Yang's sincerity in befriending him and giving him the ancient slaughterer energy crystal, the Emperor of the Underworld was overjoyed. He felt at ease and fully supported Yu Yang. Of course, while the Emperor of the Underworld was happy, he also felt lucky. If he wasn't the Sky Emperor Ba Yi's feud, and the Sky Emperor had previously joined hands with the Black Hell King to suppress the Yu clan's third young master, then the Yu clan's third young master would not have treated him as an ally. He would not have generously given him the refined ancient slaughterer energy crystal. The Emperor of the Underworld could not predict the outcome of the battle, but he was willing to follow Yu Yang's lead. Miracles. How many miracles had the Yu clan's third young master created? Now that Sky Law had come to help, there might even be Night Empress and Ji Zun coming to fight against the Black Hell King and the ancient Slaughterer Beast King. Congratulations, Emperor of the Underworld. This item is useless to Emperor of the Underworld. Thank you for your kind intentions, Third Young Master, please keep it for yourself. Elder Nan Gong's reaction was different. He did not accept the dark gold crystal that Yu Yang gave him like the Emperor of the Underworld did. Instead, he gave it back to Yu Yang. Elder Nangong did not insist on reaching the innate Elder Realm. He let nature take its course. He felt that instead of wasting a dark gold crystal, it would be better to let Yu Yang use it and let him continue to level up. That would be the best. Don't worry, ancient warriors, we will meet every day. The Emperor of the Underworld summoned a transparent spirit and let it float in the sky to monitor the outside. Elder Nangong also summoned a firefly. They all had their own ways to keep monitoring the outside even after returning to the grimoire world. After Yu Yang, Elder Nangong and the Emperor of the Underworld agreed to meet every day to discuss countermeasures. He returned to the grimoire world with the Impatiens first. On the surface, the Impatiens seemed to have won easily, but in fact, she had used up a lot of energy. If it wasn't for her guardian beast, the charm demon queen, who used enchantment the moment she appeared, causing the ancient slaughterers to lose their minds and attack each other. All the ancient slaughterers were forced to leave hurriedly. They did not bring along their 2 dying companions, as they might not even be able to kill them. With the ancient slaughterers' strong regenerative abilities, if they were not killed on the spot, they would be able to recover after resting for a day or 2. Luckily, the Black Hell King was scared off by Impatiens's appearance. Otherwise, they would not have won so easily with him messing around. The Black Hell King was not a fool. If he had regained his senses and fought again, he would not have been able to win so easily. Sky Law's energy was greatly depleted. The Impatiens could not use Sky Law's energy today. She had to recover. Yu Yang also felt that he had to think of a good way to kill the ancient slaughterers successfully. For a monster like the ancient slaughterer, it was better to break one than injure all 10 of its fingers. Grimoire World. The Impatiens and the Southern Demon King looked at each other. Their eyes were filled with electricity. It couldn't be helped. Beauties were always natural enemies. As the saying goes, beauties are like tigers. One mountain cannot accommodate them. The 2 girls were familiar with each other. They had countless competitors in the past. Although they were not mortal enemies, they did not have any good feelings towards each other. Hey, that's right, why did you come here alone? Yu Yang quickly changed the topic. The Impatiens looked at the Southern Demon King with her beautiful eyes. In the end, she hugged Yu Yang intimately as if there was no one else around. I heard that the Black Hell King had captured you, so I quickly chased after you. Then, I met 3 Eastern Goblin tribe members. I knew that you came here to search for treasures, so I chased after you. Was it the mountain-shaking flying bear, and the others who pointed the way? They are my people. The Southern Demon King emphasized to Yu Yang that it was her tribesmen who pointed the way. She had made the greatest contribution. Without those 3 idiots, I would have found them too. On the contrary, it was those 3 idiots who talked nonsense and almost made me take a detour. The Impatiens expressed that she was naturally intelligent. It was easy for her to find her lover's traces. Any directions were useless. Humph! The Southern Demon King hated the Impatiens to the core. She had a good impression of Yu Yang. But she did not love him. She only felt that he was different from the rest. She wanted to know more about this young human. She thought that they could get along well after entering the grimoire world. She did not expect that Sky Law would come after a while. The most unbearable thing for the Southern Demon King was that Sky Law, who was not much weaker than her in the past, had actually reached Ji Zun level. Furthermore, this was not the biggest blow. The thing that made the Southern Demon King jealous the most was that Sky Law and Yu Yang's relationship seemed to be confirmed lovers. The Southern Demon King felt that the treasure that she had set her eyes on was snatched away by someone else. She felt extremely sour in her heart. However, she could not blame him. This was because Yu Yang was not her lover. They were not even friends. They could only be considered as teammates who fought side by side. How did you come in? Yu Yang felt a little strange. Was the death arena a place that could be entered by anyone? There was a huge red teleportation door outside. At first, I could not enter no matter what. However, there was an inexplicable change, and I managed to enter smoothly. Hearing Impatiens's words, Yu Yang immediately realized that there was a limit to the number of people that could enter the death arena. If the Black Hell King had not schemed and killed so many people, Sky Law would not have been able to enter the death arena even if she found the teleportation door. The Black Hell King used the ancient slaughterers to kill dozens of foreign innate. The death penalty added the ancient slaughterers, even the ancient slaughterer commander and the ancient slaughterer beast king. Of course, they wouldn't let the participants wait for death in despair. They would also open the teleportation door accordingly, allowing more people to enter and support. The problem was that the more people that entered, the more casualties there would be on both sides. The situation would also become more chaotic. Yu Yang couldn't predict how the battle would turn out in the end. Now, he could only wait for Night Empress and Ji Zun to arrive and see how strong they were. If Night Empress and Ji Zun were strong enough, then the battle would lean towards his side. If not, he had to think of another way. Yu Yang suddenly wanted to see Heavenly Sword Goddess immediately. Heavenly Sword Goddess should have a way to deal with the current situation. If he could solve it himself, Yu Yang did not want Night Empress and Ji Zun to come. "Little rascal, I'm tired, let's go and rest." Impatience kissed Yu Yang in front of Southern Demon King, showing off. She then pulled his big hands up and pressed them on her towering breast. Although they were not husband and wife in name, they were husband and wife in reality. She did not care about his dirty trick. Especially in front of another beauty, it was an invisible declaration. "This man belongs to me." Southern Demon King felt as if she had drunk 3 bowls of vinegar. She was extremely sour. Yu Yang pretended not to see it. He did not have the time to tease Southern Demon King at the moment. His main task now was to take down Skylaw. It had been a long time since they last met, he missed her too. He carried impatience and strode back to his room. Southern Demon King was so angry that she stomped her feet and scolded Yu Yang for being a pervert. She wanted to return to her grimoire world angrily, but in the end she did not know what to do. Her beautiful eyes turned and she actually stayed behind. Her face showed that she did not want to admit defeat. The giant Loli was still in a deep sleep, snoring cutely. More than 10 female ancient warriors leaned on her to rest, exhausted. From time to time, they would take turns to heal the giant Loli. Chapter 527. She didn't know if it was because of Southern Demon King or because they hadn't seen each other for a long time. Impatience was very proactive. She did her best to serve her lover. She tried all kinds of difficult movements, all kinds of exciting positions with him, making love to her heart's content. When she was exhausted, she returned the initiative to Yu Yang and comfortably enjoyed the blissful feeling brought to her by her beloved baddie. The intense battle lasted for a long time. Those sounds that made one's heart beat hot from the start came from her mouth non-stop. This made the Southern Goblin King, who was eavesdropping, very mad. She suspected that Sky Law purposely shouted so loudly to provoke her. She really wanted to run over, kick the door open and shout at her, "Enough, don't go overboard." Of course, she could only think of such actions in her mind. It was impossible for the Southern Demon King to run over and kick the door open and shout at Yu Yang and Impatience to stop. She was a virgin after all. Other than longing and shyness, she was also a little afraid of that kind of battle. She was even worried that if she kicked the door open, she would disturb the other party and anger Yu Yang. If he was unhappy and captured her, she might not be able to protect herself. If it was in the past, if Yu Yang dared to push her down, the Southern Demon King would definitely send him flying with a jade pipa. However, after listening to the fight between the fairies, the Southern Demon King's body went soft from the Impatience's moans of pleasure. She didn't dare to say that if Yu Yang really pushed her down, she would still be able to resist. Is there an end to it? Isn't he tired after doing it for so long? This brat's stamina is too good. Is it really that comfortable to do that kind of thing? The Southern Demon King tossed and turned. She couldn't fall asleep no matter what. She couldn't close her 6 senses or recite the breeze of calming heart melody. There was always something disturbing her mind. She could return to her own grimoire world to rest, but if she did that, she would be admitting defeat to Skylaw. With the Southern Demon King's pride, she would never allow herself to lose to her opponent. But if this were to continue, she doubted whether she would be able to endure Skylaw's strong and alluring moans. She knew about Skylaw's charm inherent skill. The Southern Demon King was confident that she was not inferior to Skylaw because she was also good at using similar mental attacks. However, she did not expect her charm inherent skill to achieve such a seductive effect under the influence of the moans. If it wasn't for her strong mental defense, and if it was another woman, she would have run over and joined the battle. I will definitely not lose. Southern Goblin King clenched her teeth, bitterly enduring the shock to her heart. Unable to bear it any longer, her little hand quietly reached down. Her red lips were tightly pursed. He tried his best to hold his breath and move stealthily, not making a single sound. When the impatiens on the other side let out a high-pitched scream, the Southern Demon King fought for some time and took a few quick breaths. An image of him flashed across his mind. He recalled his heroic stance when he killed the ancient slaughterer, recalled his elegance when he rode the fire phoenix, recalled how he protected him with all his might when the ancient slaughterer beast king descended. The feeling of him holding her little hand seemed to still be there. Very quickly, a tidal wave of emotions accumulated and accumulated, waiting to erupt like a volcano. The Southern Demon King almost couldn't hold it in and wanted to cry out. However, she couldn't. Although she and Skylaw were in an intense battle, with their hearing, it was definitely not a problem for them to hear the moans from next door. That annoying Skylaw might even be eavesdropping on their movements. She must not let her know what she was doing. After some time, the impatience's passionate scream was heard again. Taking this opportunity, the Southern Demon King released a little of her repressed emotions. She moaned a few times in an extremely low voice. Although it wasn't satisfying enough, it was still successfully released. This made the Southern Goblin King feel both excited and comfortable. Her originally stiff body also gradually relaxed after a series of tremors. The Southern Demon King used this method to repeatedly release her stress. In the end, she really managed to resist the extreme temptation of the impatience's charm inherent skill and moans. She fell into a deep sleep due to exhaustion. The impatience was also exhausted. However, she did her duty as a wife and still tried her best to serve her lover. Even when her body couldn't take it anymore, she let the succubus queen fight for her until her lover could release it comfortably. After the passionate session, Yu Yang hugged the impatience and washed away her sweat. He let her feel refreshed and fell asleep comfortably. At the same time, he closed his eyes and rested under the succubus queen's gentle massage. In the dream world, the big loli was still waiting for him as usual. She seemed to be trying out a brand new sword technique. When Yu Yang saw this sword technique, he felt that it was both familiar and strange. This was obviously the innate invisible sword chi. Why was there such a huge difference? Could it be that the innate invisible sword chi that he had trained in previously was fake? Impossible, the heavenly sword goddess definitely wouldn't teach him fake sword technique. Moreover, fake sword techniques wouldn't have such power. There was another possibility. The innate invisible sword chi that he had trained in previously was only the basics. The truly profound innate invisible sword chi was even more profound. He was still far away from understanding the highest level of it. Yu Yang decided to learn this new sword technique from the big loli. Unexpectedly, the big loli waved her hand, indicating that Yu Yang couldn't learn it. Why? Yu Yang felt a little strange. Why didn't she let him learn it? The big loli didn't say anything and only shook her head. Maybe it was because she saw Yu Yang's puzzled look. She gestured, as if she was saying that she had learned it wrong and that Yu Yang shouldn't learn it from her. If I don't learn it from you, don't tell me that the heavenly sword goddess is going to personally teach me? Yu Yang thought about it and didn't take it seriously. Unexpectedly, a miracle really happened. The heavenly sword goddess, who was always in hiding, floated in front of Yu Yang like a fairy descending to the mortal world. She didn't say anything and only gestured for Yu Yang and the big loli to watch. With her personally teaching him, Yu Yang's heartbeat sped up to 300. He was too excited. He stared at her snow-white and flawless hands without blinking. Tens of thousands of sword chi condensed in her palms and slowly changed. In a mysterious and indescribable way, the sword chi slowly condensed, combined and arranged, forming a huge black sword that was 2 meters wide and 10 meters long. Colorful lights flashed on the sword. Countless runes that Yu Yang didn't recognize were engraved on the sword in the form of a miraculous formation. The only thing that Yu Yang could recognize was the 2 ancient Chinese characters on the huge sword. It was engraved in cauldron writing, Guizhong. The 2 words Guizhong should be the name of the sword. The huge black sword's name was Guizhong. Yu Yang's eyes widened. Condensing qi into a sword? What kind of realm did he need to reach to do that? With the silent consent of the heavenly sword goddess, Yu Yang and the big loli placed their hands on the sword to sense its existence. When Yu Yang's hand came into contact with the black Guizhong great sword, his entire body immediately trembled. This sword's unparalleled strength made him feel small and insignificant. On the other hand, the Guizhong great sword that had been completely materialized with energy was 10,000 times harder than any metal treasure. When Yu Yang's fingers came into contact with it, it actually had a kind of unparalleled will that was examining him, as if it was judging whether this man had the ability to control it or not. A spiritually connected great sword that was condensed from pure energy, Yu Yang would never have dreamt that the innate invisible sword chi would actually be able to reach such a state where one could return to one's natural state and control objects. With this Guizhong sword, why would Yu Yang be afraid of the Black Hell King? Why would he be afraid of the ancient slaughterers? No matter how many there were, he would be able to kill them all like chopping vegetables. The only problem now was, could he control this huge Guizhong sword? This was a psychic sword, just like a divine equipment. Would it recognize him as its master? The heavenly sword goddess's lily-white hands moved slightly, and the black Guizhong sword immediately became invisible. It condensed again in an instant and was formed with a single thought. This repeated many times. Wait, I haven't seen it clearly yet. Yu Yang cried out anxiously. As if she wanted Yu Yang to see clearly how she condensed it, the heavenly sword goddess was very patient. She condensed the huge Guizhong sword 3 times in a row, using an extremely slow speed. Yu Yang didn't even have the time to digest the enlightenment brought about by the shock to his soul when the heavenly sword goddess condensed a new white long sword in her other hand. This sword was as long as silk and as soft as a rainbow. The sword's entire body was clean and cold. When she brandished it, it shone with a myriad of brilliance, extremely dazzling. This white long sword was thinner and longer, and there were 2 beautiful seal characters on the sword's body, Shuanghua. Black Guizhong, white Shuanghua. The 2 swords, one black and one white, were not tangible divine equipment, but they were even better than divine equipment. If not for the heavenly sword goddess condensing the swords in her hands, Yu Yang would not dare to believe that there was such a mystical sword chi in this world. After teaching Yu Yang the Guizhong sword and Shuanghua sword, the heavenly sword goddess suddenly floated up and danced in the void. Her lily-white hands danced in the air like a wheel. One by one, beautiful divine swords of different shapes and sizes were condensed wonderfully. Other than the black Guizhong and the white Shuanghua, there were also 7 more powerful divine swords of red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, and purple. They slowly revolved around the heavenly sword goddess. Every sword, every revolution, the power was enough to split the space and destroy the heavens and earth. In front of these divine swords, Yu Yang felt as if a door had suddenly opened in his heart. In the past, he had always been walking in circles in front of this door. Only today did he truly get a glimpse of the true way of the sword. Way of the sword, boundless. Yu Yang finally understood. The Gui Tsang and Shuanghua swords that he longed for were actually not treasures. They were the direction of his training in the future. When he had his own Gui Tsang sword and Shuanghua sword, he could then be considered to have truly mastered the innate invisible sword qi. Only then would he be considered to have truly started on the path of the sword. From there, he would step into the endless path of the sword and climb up to the supreme realm of the heavenly sword goddess. Other than the innate invisible sword qi, there was also the invisible sword qi. This was his current realm. He wanted to achieve the transformation between tangible and intangible. When all of them were combined, he would be able to condense qi into swords, and the swords would become divine sense. Once the swords were formed, they would be divided into Gui Tsang or Shuanghua. That was the true way of the sword. Yu Yang excitedly did a somersault and shouted towards the heavenly sword goddess who was gradually flying away. I understand now. Treasures are only supplementary. The true way of the sword is still my own training. I will definitely have my own Gui Tsang sword and Shuanghua sword. The heavenly sword goddess disappeared without a trace. Before she disappeared, there seemed to be a trace of a smile in her eyes. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.